Here's the thing about lifelong friendships. They can survive careers, marriages, kids, but can they survive a girl's weekend away? Find out in Spa Weekend, starring Leslie Mann, Isla Fisher, Michelle Buteau, and Anna Faris as 4 friends who escape to a luxury resort for some much-needed relaxation, where they embrace a little freedom, meet a few hot men, and make a few bad decisions. From the directors of Bad Moms and the writers of Hangover, Spa Weekend is a hilarious comedy about friendship, self-care, and the getaways that don't go as planned. Well, I was lucky enough to get a screener of this amazing movie. Nally and I absolutely loved it. It's funny, hilarious. It's exactly what you and your friends need for a fun, laugh-out-loud movie. Go check it out. You'll love it. Book an escape and treat yourself to Spa Weekend, only in theaters August 21st. Make sure to bring your BFFs. Helix Sleep. What more could I possibly say about the greatest mattress of all time? Well, I'll try. It really is an amazing mattress. And if you are, by some miracle, listening to the show and have not upgraded your mattress, then what are you doing, people? Chances are there's someone listening who is in the market for a better night's sleep. For anyone who's listening, who's maybe just last night was just tossing and turning, maybe you had some back pain, you just weren't comfortable, maybe you felt like you're sleeping too hot. Well, trust me, Helix has a mattress for you. They got mattresses for all kinds of sleepers. They have a lineup of 20 unique mattresses, depending on what your sleeping preferences are. To find the mattress that's perfect for you, just go to helixsleep.com. Answer a few questions about how you like to sleep, and they will set you up with a mattress that feels like it was made just for you. And if by some miracle they're wrong, well, don't worry. You have a 120-night sleep trial where you can sleep on it, do whatever you want, and test it for yourself. Also, their mattresses come with a 10 to 15-year warranty depending on the mattress, so you can sleep with confidence, knowing that you're going to get the best sleep of your life. And if you don't want to take my word for it, well, no worries. I might be a little offended, but they also have won amazing awards from publications like Ford and Wire Magazine for their quality and performance. It's also recommended by chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine. What more can we say? I promise you, you are going to love it. We have a Helix mattress in every room in our house. We have gifted Helix mattresses to friends and family. People who come over and sleep over and spend the night are always asking, and we always let them know it's a Helix mattress. Go to helixsleep.com/VIALL for 27% off site-wide, exclusive for our listeners of the Viall Files. That's helixsleep.com/VIALL for 27% off site-wide, exclusive for our listeners. helixsleep.com/VIALL.
Jimmy Sotos is, like, if I'm going to have a type in a guy, it would be Jimmy Sotos.
You let that man bounce you around like a ball.
Oh.
Yeah.
And honestly, if I had to picture you with a guy, it would be a Jimmy Sotos. Like, you and him next to each other.
I will say that video of, like, Teach Me How to Dougie that he did during Love Is Blind, when it comes up on my feed, I don't stop watching it.
Videos.
I do watch it on loop 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did he do that?
Justin and I kind of think that because we've been watching so much straight reality TV, we're becoming straighter.
We are.
Wow, really?
Because we both
This
have been
environment.
attracted
Well,
to...
'cause I had a crush on
becoming
Kaylee
gayer.
Exactly.
I think
What
I'm
about
constantly
Bravo,
becoming
straight
gayer.
reality TV?
We're talking about, like, well,
Netflix. Because Kaylee's the one that I
Netflix
was like, oh,
Bachelor.
she's so hot. Like, I couldn't.
Wait, Kaylee from Temptation, she was like unreally beautiful. Yeah, it was like crazy.
Justin's hetero crush from this job is like a really sweet, beautiful woman, and mine's Jimmy Sotos.
Can we get a clap?
You're crazy.
What's going on? Oh my God. I know. Woo! This reminded me of my what's going on, everybody? How's it going? Welcome to the Viall Files.
How you doing?
How do you feel about spitting in public?
Non-sexual.
Not non-sexual.
Yeah.
spitting in public, just like
Well, the other day I'm getting over a cold.
oh,
And you know how like it's just that last, you know, like a cold that like lingers for a while, and then there's like you're better, you're not sick, but there's like that
Post-nasal.
yeah, like
Stuff.
the like
Phlegm.
fallout, you know, like the you know, like a nuclear winter, it's like still hanging out in your head, and then you talk a lot, and you're like a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yes. Great for podcasting.
Yeah. I was driving into work, and I did one of those, and I had a big old loogie in my mouth, and I was driving, and I rolled down the window, and I spit, and then I was just like,
Foul.
yeah, I was like, is that socially okay? Should I have been arrested? I feel like
What else were you supposed to do in that situation in your car?
I don't know. But
I have a take on this. If I'm with somebody, a dude, and he's a regular offender,
Ew.
Yep, I'm out.
Like constantly spitting?
Yeah, like if he's just like somebody who doesn't care.
You've dated one of those?
No.
Or you've been around?
I've been around like dudes who just like you're walking and they'll just hawk a loogie and there's no like, oh, I'm so sorry. It's normal to them. I'm like, you've been around boys way too much.
Yes.
Like you need a little, socialization with women. But if it's like this, you're getting over a cold. I have the ability to be like, you know what? He's getting over a cold. Like it happens. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a time and place type of thing. Like
Did
if
you
you're in
ever-
your car, what else? I'm not spitting on my car
have you
floor.
ever rolled down the window, spit, and have it fly back in your face?
No,
Oh my God.
no, but I actually have like a worse version of this,
I do too.
which was there was a brief period of time a long time ago. I do not do this anymore, but there was a brief period of time in which I did have a pack of cigarettes, and I would have a cigarette in my car on the way home every day, like years ago. And one time I did like throw it out, and then it literally like came back in,
Ouch.
and it smelled so bad.
During COVID, when I was living in Venice, I was roller skating because what else was there to do?
Period. I did that this weekend.
And I had to spit, and I did. And then I was like, I thought I was going to get canceled.
Yeah, you're like somebody recorded this.
No, I was like,
and it's-
someone definitely
Yeah.
recorded it. And I was like, I don't think you're allowed to spit. I don't.
Yeah.
I think, granted, I was outside in the breezy, as we now know, very safe atmosphere of being outside.
But we didn't know
but that was
then.
during a time when, apparently being 100 feet away from someone outside was. Anyway, that was a scary moment. I was like, oh my God, it's over.
Yeah.
It's like my career right in that
Yeah.
moment, just out the window. Turns
Out
out
the
everything was
window.
fine.
You just
Yeah.
told on yourself. So
Turns
now
out you're just a little grody for spitting in public.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we have a great episode lined up for you. It's as usual, jam-packed. We have Kayda light. Not really. We haven't had a chance to talk with Kayda from Love Island, so we found the next best thing, a gay man who sounds just like her.
I
He's
love
really
this so
good,
much.
too.
This is my favorite thing.
You love an impression.
Yeah.
I love an impression. Who doesn't love an impression?
Yeah.
doesn't?
I
Yeah.
can listen to people do impressions all day long.
It's also just so silly.
And so this man on TikTok, his friends or followers, I mean, he had a couple. He doesn't even have like a large following, but large enough that people are like, "Yo, you sound just like Kayda." And he did a little bit of a Kayda impression, and our queen Kayda saw it and apparently stamped her approval on it.
Ooh, love. Is he going to do the interview in his Kayda voice the whole time?
I don't, we were just like, hey, do you want to come on and talk like Kayda? We haven't had a chance to talk with her yet. So
Okay.
we're just like, maybe we can all like close our eyes and imagine what it'd be like to
Yeah.
Have her here.
talk to Kayda. So he is joining us. We also have Stephani Sosa from the new hit Hulu show, Dancing with the Stars and X Pro. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's enjoying it. Obviously, it's Dancing with the Stars is in its it's in its golden era.
Prime. It is.
It's prime golden era, and they are looking for their next pro, and we are privileged to have one of its contestants who may or may not have a violent side to her. it's
Accidental
it's like Fight Club.
violence.
Yeah.
If you guys aren't watching it, someone left with a concussion because they got hit by our guest.
Dance is no
We're
joke.
we're
Yeah.
kind of joking. I think it was an accident.
It was an accident.
Yeah.
It looked like an accident.
It's a contact sport.
It is.
At the end of the day.
Have you guys ever gotten concussed?
No.
No, not that I know of.
Not that
Knock
I
on
think.
wood. Yeah.
Do I look like I play contact sports?
Oh, I fully got a concussion one time from literally getting a basketball thrown in my head when I was in like 3rd grade.
Dang.
Anyway,
That
no
reminded
joke.
me of a time in 8th grade where it's one of the funniest moments, but probably wouldn't. I was at the YMCA playing basketball with some of my friends, and there was this guy who was just, wasn't very good at basketball. Just really big hair. He constantly wanted the ball, and he was just calling for the ball, but then he wasn't looking, and then I quarterback threw it, and he wasn't looking, just hit him in the face, and his hair flew back.
That's kind of what happened to me.
It was. Yeah.
But it
Was
wasn't
it
a
Mary?
grown man. No, it was also like a 10-year-old girl. Yeah.
We also have, I think you guys are really going to enjoy this conversation, Jazzy Collins, who is a casting director in this in Tinseltown, Hollywood. She's casted shows like Love Island, The Bachelor,
T.
Traitors, and many others. So she is here to give us the inside baseball of how do you get casted on these shows? What are casting directors look for? Some fascinating stories and insight from Jazzy. I think you all will really enjoy that conversation.
Tinseltown BTS.
Do you want to give Susie back her iPad?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm a little tired, guys.
Thank you.
Fatherhood.
How's it
doing
been
the damn
going?
thing.
This is great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I said this. I'm kind of over. Now he's kind of mad at me for. I'm kind of over the newborn
Stage.
Yeah.
When my friend had her baby, she was kind of like the same thing. She's like, I'm excited for the next stage past potato.
Yeah, it's potatoes it. But like when it's your first, you don't know anything else.
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, this is great. And they do smell
Wonderful.
wonderful.
Yeah.
But then when there's two of them, it's like, you?
It's overwhelming. No,
And then when they're both crying, oh my God. And then you get one settled and then the other one starts, and it's the...
Well, Natalie posted a pretty impressive photo of you with one of the twins in your arms. You had one of the twins on your legs, and you had River right next to you. And I'm like,
I'm a great dad.
you are a great dad.
Yeah.
Let's give you
I'm
credit
good
where
at that.
credit is
Yeah.
due.
I'm good at that.
But like, did you know that your entire body could just like double as a double hammock for children?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a new skill set.
Also, like another thing I'm a little impressed by myself.
Do tell.
I'm just picturing other people listening to this show who have mixed feelings about me, who just threw up their breakfast in their car. You know, because newborns are like so fragile.
Uh-huh.
And yet, like, there's just a level of comfort you get with newborns and holding them when you're kids. And like, there's this, I don't know, I'm just kind of, the way I feel comfortable holding one with one hand and just kind of walking around and doing things. It's like, I feel like I'm probably a little bit more reckless than everything's fine.
Yeah.
Like,
Those words were that I was agreeing with you because I had another friend that had a baby because clearly I have not. And I remember she wanted me to come over to hold her baby, and I don't like holding babies under once they're able to hold their heads up. Then I'm fair game.
I totally understand that.
Yeah, I'm like when they're so fragile and they're not mine. I'm just
Yeah.
like I don't know. I'm whatever arm I'm holding them in, it's gushing sweat. I'm trying to act cool, but I have so much anxiety because I'm just like intrusive thoughts. I don't even have a kid, and I'm like, well, what happens if my arm gets tired?
Yeah.
Like, is it too soon to ask if they want him back? Like,
I'm like, even now after being a dad, I'm like, if I'm around someone who has a newborn, like, you want to hold them? No.
yeah.
Yeah.
No.
But that makes me feel a lot better to hear it from like a parent. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, yeah, because I also don't want to hold
I
your
like mine.
newborn.
Yeah.
I just it does. It stresses me out. I'm like, in what world? Why are you giving me your baby?
Even like dogs. It's like, I love my dogs. I'm obsessed with my dogs. But like, you know, cool, you have a dog.
I love
I
everyone's
do
dog.
that on the other hand,
I disagree.
Yes, that's me.
But I will
babies, I'm like, all right, you give me a dog, I'm like, yes, this is the best day of my life.
But so this friend was changing her baby, but I just remember her doing the one-armed thing where it was just like, I likened it to tossing a pizza almost, because it was just like the way that she could just be like,
Yeah.
all right, do this,
Yeah.
and then put the baby back down. And I was like,
Yeah.
that thing's bones are made of jello. What are you doing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, but I think that's just like a
when you're
parent
watching
thing.
football, if any of you watch football, and sometimes like the running back is getting a little careless with the football, and it's just like, whoa, tuck it in.
Hold it in, yeah.
And yeah.
I think that a lot when I watch football.
Yeah, all the time. When I'm
Oh,
watching
yeah.
football, I'm always like, protect that ball.
Yeah.
Oh my god, my mom's favorite
Butterfingers?
thing
Yeah.
to yell at the screen when we're watching football because she knows the Steelers can hear her is hold on to the ball, hold on to the ball, hold on to the ball. And it always makes me laugh. And sometimes they listen.
Sometimes they do. Well, it's time to get into the show. We have Kayda Light up and waiting. Up next, Kayda Michael Kayda. Can't wait. This is going to be fun. Mikey, welcome to the show. Or should I say Kayda Light?
Okay. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, we appreciate you joining us. We were kind of joking before. We haven't had the opportunity to speak with Kayda yet. And then we came across your TikTok of where you did this brilliant Kayda impression. It's my understanding that you're not necessarily you didn't watch Love Island. You were kind of made aware by the internet that you had this shockingly similar cadence and voice to Kayda, the star of Love Island, or one of
Cadence.
Kayda. Oh, Kayda. Yeah.
The cadence. Yeah, no, that is true. I was just kind of like playing around on TikTok, going off about whatever viral moment was going. And people were like, you sound like Kayda, you sound like Kayda. And truth be told, I've watched about like 5 episodes of Love Island. And one of them, I was like, commented back, I was like, Divas, who is this Kayda you're talking about? Is this like a slang term? Like, girl, she's from Love Island. So then I looked into it and I was like, all right, we do sound alike. And then did a video, and then the rest is history.
Did you have to practice the video, or did it come out so naturally, like it almost felt like you and her were the same person? Like, do you feel connected with her spiritually, knowing that you have the same voice?
A little bit now.
Okay.
I will. At first, I was like, oh my gosh, I think this is going to be an absolute flop. I was like, I had, my 15 seconds of fame. I had one video go pretty big. And then I was like, I don't think it's going to be that good. And then once people were like, I think Kayda's in the room with us, I was like, okay, I'm her. So if you see me on Love Island next season, don't be surprised.
Period.
How are you and Zach doing?
We're doing well. The long distance is a little tough, but a lot of FaceTimes, and hopefully when his visa gets fixed, he can come over to New Hampshire this summer.
You guys, I closed my eyes while he said that, and it's Kayda.
Yeah, I was wondering, Kayda, what's your favorite thing about New Hampshire?
You know what? I got to admit, the summers. It's a nice coastal time. So it's this time of year is the best to be. So I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
After filming for it.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I love it.
But I also heard, I've just been like really stressed out lately with all of this Love Island discourse. It seems to get so toxic. And I heard that like you have a guided meditation.
That I do. I, picked it up while on the villa.
Wow.
Oh, okay. I didn't know Kayda had this
Is it
kind of
something you
skills.
did with the whole villa to like calm everyone's nerves in between, all the intense scenes?
Yeah. When when it was intense and the stakes were high and pressure was up, I was like, okay, guys, I have this little calming meditation that we do back old in New Hampshire. It's a kind of a tradition.
Okay.
Wow.
All right, let's hear it.
Yeah, we'd love to hear it, and bring us into the villa if you could.
Okay.
Uh,
Let's do it.
I'm going to play a little bit of music for
Okay.
you guys.
Shut the fuck up and close your eyes. Nick, close your eyes and take a slow, deep breath in. And just let it out. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a peaceful meadow. The air is cool and the sun is warm. You notice a baby lamb approach you. You didn't choose this baby lamb. This baby lamb chose you. Hug your baby lamb. Feel its soft, supple wool brushing against your bosom. No, bosom. New Hampshire education's not the best.
Rewind.
Feel its soft, supple wool brushing against your bosom. You are enough, says the baby lamb. You are strong. You are beautiful. Podcasting is a real job. As you hug the baby lamb, transform before you. The baby lamb is now Zach. Zach? You say, Zach, what are you doing here? Zach, this is my meadow. No, I'm actually mad at you right now. But as Zach looks back at you, all your fears melt into his eyes. You know, deep down, that you are perfect in every single way. Now, we're gonna say our mantra. I'm the baddest bitch in the villa.
I'm the baddest
bitch in the villa.
No bombshell can destroy me.
No bombshell can destroy me.
Casa Amor cannot destroy me.
Casa Amor cannot destroy me.
I am the epitome.
I am the epitome.
Negativity is ass.
Negativity is ass.
Positivity is standing on business.
Positivity is standing on business.
Now take your knuckles and beat them into your opposite hand. Like I'm a bad bitch, Zach. Make me avocado toast tomorrow.
Are we repeating that?
Oh, no, sorry. After positivity is standing on business, you don't have to repeat it. Sorry, should have clarified.
Wow.
Well, thank you, Kayda.
I feel like the baddest bitch in the villa.
I do feel like the baddest bitch in the villa. Therapy works.
And that's the goal.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
If I had that voice, I think I would also carry that energy with me.
Yeah.
You know what? Ever since it went up, I absolutely have. I'm like, I'm fucking Kayda.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to curse.
You are.
Yeah.
Didn't
And
curse, yeah.
Mikey, didn't Kayda comment on your TikTok as well?
Yes.
You got the stamp of approval.
And she was like, okay, you ate that up.
Cute.
And I tried to tag her in it, but she has her settings set that she couldn't. So however it came across her page, I was like, wow, this was a huge moment.
Mm-hmm.
And now they have a new Love Island fan because I know what I'm doing next summer.
Love.
Can we get a I'm fucking pissed.
I'm fucking pissed.
So good.
What is your and Jack's dream vacation?
I think it's spending a little 2-week vacation in a nice villa over in Europe, preferably Sicily.
Nice.
Kayda, I was just wondering what you think could end all world suffering.
For Zach to shut the fuck up.
Whoa. We love Zach.
We love him.
We love Zach.
But sometimes they just need to.
Okay.
They do.
You know?
Oh, are you going to watch the reunion?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
She's
10
on the
toes down.
reunion.
Oh, you'll be there. You'll be there. I'm sorry.
I'll be there.
Yeah, what are you looking forward to address most at the reunion, Kayda?
I think I want to address to America about how they didn't believe in me and Zach's relationship and they called us a situationship.
Yeah, period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Standing on business.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your very busy, popular schedule these days to guide us through that meditation. It really felt like we
of
were
course.
in the villa. This has been a lot of fun, Mikey. I appreciate you taking the time, man. And hopefully this is a thriving business for you. I really want you two to meet someday, you and Kayda.
I really hope we could. So if you ever have that kind of pull or somehow can get her out to LA, just tell me, I'll be on the next flight out.
All
Love it.
Thanks so much for taking the time, Mikey, or should I say, Kayda? This was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for having me. This was so much
All
fun.
right, take
Thank
care.
you.
All right.
Bye.
Have a
You
good
too.
one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
What is it about impressions that make it so fun?
It's so fun.
I think it's just because there's so much going on in the world, and when it's just someone doing a silly voice that sounds like a voice you like, it's just so pure.
But
Yeah.
even when the world is fine, it's still a good impression.
Regardless, it's just fun.
Yeah.
But it's also that when he's speaking normally,
Totally.
he also still sounds like Kayda.
What is it? Is it a raspy voice?
It's like
is it
a
like
bit of a fry. I don't
It's
know.
It's a bit of a fry, and then
Yeah.
there's like peaks and valleys.
Yeah.
Of,
What the fuck?
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
the-
actually fucking pissed right now. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not the same.
it's not the same. No, no.
It's almost disrespectful.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Kayda. I'm sorry, Mikey.
There's
Yeah,
a
I'm
fine
sorry,
line
Mikey.
between
Yeah.
impersonation and mocking.
Yeah.
You know,
And
I just want to take a
was
moment
celebrating
and apologize.
Kayda.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure our audience knows the difference.
No, it's like the coolest voice. It's like that one friend where you're just like, she's obviously smoke show hot, but I'm like, your voice just makes you like
She has a hot girl voice.
hot girl voice.
Mhm.
Hot
Yeah,
girl voice.
anytime
It's
someone does
cool.
an impression of me, they just sound like they have a stuffy nose and mumble. Like, not as fun.
We need to get a Nick impersonator on next.
Stop.
Or maybe I'm
Yeah.
just self-conscious. I mean, do you think Kayda is self-conscious about her voice, or do you think she's been able to embrace?
No, I think that there is so much like true negativity that comes to these people that anyone who's like jokey and funny with it, I think they love.
I think
Yeah.
they're like, thanks for being nice about it, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's just cool.
It's just like
cool.
it's cool. Her voice is awesome. There is a very specific hot girl voice, and it's like she has that hot girl voice,
Mhm.
but with just some oomph to it.
Yeah.
And it's so great.
And I saw Corbin loves all the
Oh.
impressions in the ChatGPT.
Oh, that's fun.
Melanie.
So I think they're all leaning in. They love it.
Yeah.
Love that.
This is smoothie.
Ha, 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 ha.
All right. Our pets have a way of keeping life interesting with unexpected vet visits. Today's episode is sponsored by the ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program. The ASPCA takes some financial stress out of eligible vet care. The ASPCA Pet Health Insurance Program offers customizable accident and illness plans that fit your budget, your lifestyle, and even your pet's particular quirks. Because let's be honest, vet bills can add up fast. The ASPCA Pet Health Insurance has been around for almost 30 years and has covered over 1 million pets. And when it's time to submit a claim, it's easy. Just use the app and receive reimbursement for eligible vet bills directly into your bank account so you can get back to focusing on what really matters, your pet. We discovered the ASPCA after both Jeff and Steve got into some food that they shouldn't have, and that required us to take them in a very late night to the pet emergency hospital. And the only thing that was scarier than worrying about their health in that moment was getting the vet bill. And that's what prompted us to check out the ASPCA, and boy, are we glad that we did. To explore coverage for you and your family, visit aspcapetinsurance.com/VIALL. That's aspcapetinsurance.com/VIALL. Again, that's aspcapetinsurance.com/VIALL. This is a paid advertisement. Insurance is underwritten by either Independent American Insurance Company or United States Fire Insurance Company and is produced by PTZ Insurance Agency Limited. The ASPCA is not an insurer and is not engaged in the business of insurance. Finding a protein bar that tastes good without a ton of sugar or calories can be surprisingly difficult, and that's why we love David Protein. David is available at Walmart stores nationwide and on Walmart.com, where you can try a single bar for only $2.97. It's really important right now for Natalie to get the protein in her diet, and with being a busy mom who's still dealing with postpartum and raising 3 little girls, David Protein has been a great sidekick to help get a quick, delicious snack that's packed with protein, but also has no sugar. David's Gold Protein Bars packed 28 grams of protein, 150 calories, and 0 grams of sugar. Each Gold bar has a soft, doughy texture with satisfying chunks. Each bar is delicious. There's so many great flavors out there. Choose from 8 core flavors, including chocolate chip cookie dough, peanut butter chocolate chip chunk, my favorite, salted peanut butter fudge brownie, blueberry pie, red velvet, cake batter, and cinnamon roll. All great tasting, all packed with protein and no sugar. Each batch is third-party tested for product integrity and safety, with publicly available testing for protein content, heavy metals, PFAs, glyphosate, and more. Our lives aren't getting any less busy, and we are always grabbing a David Protein bar when we're traveling, on the go, or just around the house when we need a quick, delicious, good-for-you snack. Don't just take our word for it. Go grab one for yourself. Head to Walmart today to stock up on a 4-count of your favorite flavors like blueberry pie and salted peanut butter. Check out Walmart.com to find a store near you. Wow. That was great.
Good stuff.
Impressive.
That was fun.
It's
Light,
silly.
You know, silly.
Silly, goofy.
Silly,
It's
goofy.
like, God forbid we have a laugh.
Maybe someday we'll
Yeah.
actually get to talk to the real Queen, Kayda.
But that was great.
That was.
Mhm.
We also, to later this episode, the reunion part 2 of In the City, which I had mixed feelings on going into this episode. I've had like Kyle and Amanda fatigue.
In what way?
It's just like, okay, yeah,
Just kind of over it.
it's over it.
Yeah.
I'm over it. You know, it's like it felt like they kept trying to squeeze more like juice out of that lemon. But turns out there was more juice to squeeze. The whole like marriage, no sex for 4 years conversation
Brutal.
blew my mind.
No sex for 4 years, but maybe 3 times?
Yeah.
in those 4
I kind
years?
of assumed when they said no sex for 4 years, I assumed they meant like maybe 15. Like, to be
Yeah.
honest, I was like, oh, they're like
Yeah.
not having sex. I'm like, but I was like, maybe 15 times.
The exaggeration of
in
no.
that conversation, I went through like periods. It was like whiplash of being like, because when it was like, oh, Kyle may have cheated on Amanda. Like she recently heard that like in their marriage, he had sex with someone else. And then it was just like this thought of like, man, how is Kyle like avoiding like the scandal being so big in the direction of Amanda being like the villain, that it's truly amazing how like
Yeah.
how Kyle's been absolved from literally anything. Like
Yeah.
he could do no wrong. And I'm thinking, wait, how is he able to kind of get away with this? Then Kyle's like, well, we've literally never had sex ever. And not that I'm saying if you don't have sex with your partner that gives, but like that was a level of, I don't know, like I honestly would be curious to talk to an expert on this topic of like almost the emotional trauma of getting married and have your partner completely like push you aside. And then Amanda's explanation of like why they didn't have sex didn't quite land with me. I don't,
It kind of bothered me, to be honest, just in the sense that it's like, it almost felt like we villainized, not we, but like she was trying to like villainize Kyle because he was more focused on trying to set them up for their future. Whereas like the entire time in the show, she's talking about wanting to settle down in New Jersey, get a house, have kids, the whole thing, as if Kyle is like working towards that. And I'm not saying that Kyle was any type of angel in that relationship. He obviously has some sort of anger management issues and whatnot. And I kind of feel like they kind of scathed over the like, how often do your arguments result in you calling each other names and whatnot? And then you saw Kyle trying to be like, well, Amanda, like, I don't just start calling you names out of nowhere.
That's a weird line.
Well, he was saying that, like, you almost hit me for something. And I was like, there was an episode of Summer House that also resurfaced where it was like he was eating bonbons but drunk late at night. And she came out and just smacked the shit out of him, said, you can't have those are for tomorrow.
She like literally hit him?
She literally hit him. She's smashed his shit on the ground for not answering her phone calls. So I'm just kind of like, again, and I'm not saying that there's a side to be on or whatever. I'm just like, I think it's very easy and it's very annoying how Amanda wants to point out the two things that she harps over with Kyle. But then it's also kind of like withholding sex and intimacy in your relationship while somebody's trying to pave a way for your future and is doing your taxes, cleaning your room, doing everything else, taking care of you. And then it's like, well, you wouldn't stop drinking and going out. And it's just like, I don't know. I feel like I sound crazy saying it out loud because it's almost like I'm saying Kyle can do no wrong. And I don't agree with that. But I'm just saying that any relationship, there's compromise. Kyle has been consistently who he's been since day one. Amanda was, oh, I'm going to be out partying. Maybe we'll meet up. I'll come over at 2 a.m. and skinny dip and the whole thing. Then you guys get married and it's like, he needs to calm down.
No, it was this weird, I'm with you like this. Amanda's explanation at first was like, well, first it almost seemed like they were just kind of like debating love languages, where it's just like Kyle's like, hey, I'm an acts of service guy, I do all these things, and I understand that that's not how relationships work. You have to kind of understand both each other's like love languages and yada yada yada. But like the way Amanda was describing it, I just kind of sound like she was deliberately like withholding intimacy because Kyle wasn't like doing things perfectly the way he wanted to. And it's like, again, I get it. I understand that like from the lady's point of view, like, yeah, like it makes a lot of sense when a guy is just like, there's no romance and there's no like kind of foreplay and things like that. Totally valid. But like the way it was like an all or nothing, usually it's just like, yeah, we were like, you know, our sex life wasn't great, and I realized that like maybe there was no but like the way she was describing it's just like it was like an all or nothing thing, you know, where it's just like, well, there was no sex, period. It was just like, and in a marriage, again, physical intimacy is important. Understand it, obviously, you still need everyone consent and things, like it's a weird conversation because you don't owe anyone anything in terms of sex, but when it comes to the health of a marriage, you need physical intimacy. And like it just, the way Amanda was describing it, it was like she was just like at every turn like putting Kyle, like almost pushing Kyle to just be like, am I even married? Am I in a relationship? And again, it doesn't make his actions okay, but like the way she was describing it, you're just like, man, you push someone to the limits. Like,
and I'm like, he's made it clear throughout their arguments that this was an issue, where I'm just kind of like, and I totally have empathy for her in the sense of like, okay, you're gone all day, you're working and you're stressed out, and then you come into bed after not seeing you all day and expect me to just give it up to you so you can go to bed or you can go out and DJ or whatever. I can completely understand that.
for sure.
But I'm like, at the same time, it's hard when watching her on In the City versus the last season of Summer House, talking about how she's trying to save this marriage, how she put her all in. And we watched Summer House and it was like, where? You didn't even want to ride down with the man, let alone put him down every dinner, every opportunity that you got. And then claiming that like, oh, I'm trying to keep our marriage together by separating and then signing a 1-year lease. It's like you're saying all of these things that make sense, but then your actions are saying something completely different.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's the thing, because it does go both ways, right? Like you know, my understanding, correct me if I'm wrong, is the ladies love the courting, as Amanda said, the foreplay, the intimacy, the
planning
build.
dates. And Kyle said all he
That's
did was plan
very
dates.
important in like a physical relationship, in any partnership. But on the flip side, like men want to feel like respected and valued, and like
everybody wants to feel wanted in a
and
relationship.
Amanda just to demonstrate like she never acted like she respected Kyle, and that makes a person feel a certain way. Like
I
there was no foreplay on
both sides.
On both sides.
I think I feel a little different from you guys though, and it is me being like devil's advocate a bit for Amanda, which it's weird because like watching it, I'm like, I am not particularly like drawn to this person, Amanda. Like I'm really not, and that's why it's kind of weird that I just feel something for her that's different from what you guys are saying, because I'm like, he said at some point in the reunion, he was like, yeah, I do regret it because I never got the trust back. Like I broke the trust at the beginning and then I never got it back. And so how I feel was like Amanda should have left.
Yeah.
Because I understand not being able to give that back to somebody, no matter what they do, no matter how much they're trying to provide or whatever. Like if you don't respect or if you don't trust, it's like you're never going to build on top of it because the foundation is just already broken. And so a part of me like empathizes when she talks about depression and all that stuff. I'm like, I think she was just maybe in such a bad place, and I think so. I mean, it sounds like it. That's what she's describing. I mean, I'm like,
well, listen, if she was like clinically depressed,
that's what it sounds like she's describing. Does it not? Like
it does. It sounds like that's what she's trying to describe. but
Yeah.
like I guess we also had 4 years of watching her on TV, and obviously I'm no expert, so I don't know what that looks like.
Yeah.
But it just, I guess it's just,
You know,
it's, I don't know.
I think it would also
It's-
be hard, even like as I said, where I'm like, because I see where you're coming from, but I completely agree with you on the sense that, like, listen, when we saw all of their marriage issues and whatnot coming up in the last 2 seasons, it's been like, oh, well, you cheated on me before we got married. Where Kyle's like, well, you're not intimate with me. I don't feel close to
Yeah.
you post marriage.
Yeah.
And I'm like, it's a really interesting factor because at the end of the day, yes, she should have left, but you made the decision saying that you could move on from his indiscretion
Yeah.
before you guys were seriously committed or making, starting a life together. So to then hold that against him 4 years later, it's just like,
But didn't he cheat in their marriage too? He made out with somebody at the beginning of their marriage.
it's all very vague.
that's
and
what, like, again, like,
Because like to me, I'm like, if that happened, like if you cheated on somebody and then you forgive them before you get married, and then you decide to wipe it clean, you get married, and then they re-wound that wound. It's like, okay, I forgave you for that shit, but then if you're making out with somebody, you're reopening something that I'm like,
makes sense on its like
on the,
on the surface level, but the way it's described, it's almost as if like she never really forgave him. She said she was forgiving him, and then in this relationship, it sounds like she like acted out in a way that was like punishing him for his behavior, which from a human standpoint makes a lot of sense. But I don't know who made the point, but yeah, listen, infidelity sadly is a thing that happens in relationships. It often ends relationships. In a lot of cases doesn't, and people work through it and forgive each other. And yeah, like if you are choosing to forgive your partner, and it can be very messy and whatever, and you get therapy and blah, 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 blah. But at some point, if you are going to forgive that person, it's kind of like your responsibility to like, you choose to be in this relationship, and you have to choose to like,
I
on
agree
some
with
level
that.
let things go, because otherwise it's just like weaponizing
1000%.
what happened to you is a way to like get back at the person who hurt you, which again is a human
It's not a
response.
healthy.
But
But
it's
if they
like, how
keep
is that
hurting
like
you,
healthy?
that's
And
where-
you're kind of hurting each other.
It's
and
just a cycle, and then you.
I feel like it's a cycle.
Well, I want to
Yeah,
just present a little bit of clarity, just because in the city, the couples therapy that they had was that she was upset about him cheating before they got married. In the reunion that we just watched is when she said she just found out in the last week or so that he cheated in their marriage.
But didn't she know he like that was like sex? But she knew he like made out with somebody, and she was like the dance floor thing, right?
Okay.
So like that was. Because to me, I'm like, it doesn't matter if it's sex or if it's making out with somebody on the dance floor. If you cheated on me, I forgave you. And that will always be a pain point probably. But if we move forward, my expectation is that your behavior changes. So if you're like dancing with somebody on a dance floor, I just know me personally, if I forgive somebody, move on, literally get married to them, and then they're making out with somebody on the dance floor, I know I would be like, oh, everything that like I literally married you. I moved past that shit, and now you're bringing me back into it. Like that would be really hard for me, but I would leave.
That would
That's the
that
thing
would
is
make
like
total sense if all of what you described happened within like a 3-month window or something.
but did it not? Like wasn't it right
I'm not
after they
in-
got married? He was on the dance floor.
But she's
Was it right after?
I don't know the timeline.
Because
but
my understanding of this relationship is everything we just talked about. They got married, and prior to Amanda's like talking about the lack of intimacy, or Kyle and Amanda talking about like no sex, that like these various rumors, again, like what seems like we all know, and then Kyle's acknowledged, is that throughout this marriage, there were always, Amanda had to deal with rumors and women DMing him and saying Kyle's doing this and Kyle's doing that, which to your point makes a lot of sense. But over the span of 4 years, and the way
Yeah.
Kyle was, is like we got married and like never, like we didn't even consummate the marriage.
Yeah.
And it was like, so if you get married and then all of a sudden your partner doesn't want you to touch them for months, I mean, how long does it take for you to act out? Not making
Yeah.
it what Kyle did okay, but again, this whole relationship sounds like it was just a fucking mess.
honestly, a lot of
I
this
agree.
marriage kind of sounds like it was convenient, and I'm not trying to like downplay their
It's giving
relationship.
showmance.
That's what I'm saying, is that I'm like, I think that there is too much for Amanda to lose in the sense of walking away from Kyle, that like if we get married and maybe everything will change, and it didn't. And so then it's like, because even Kyle has said that They wouldn't really interact with each other off camera. And then it was like they used the time in Summer House to discuss their marriage issues and almost as therapy, working through it with the public, which is insane. But I'm like, okay, so if you're talking about 7 months out of the year that you're barely communicating with your partner, your partner's not intimate with you, your partner's not asking how your day is, how work is going, anything, or isn't even willing to help you with work or pay bills or clean their house or whatever. And then it's like you get on this show and then it's like, let's just air out all of our dirty laundry to go back and not talk again.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is just a miserable existence. And so it's crazy to me that both of them seem to have been protecting the other about how bad this relationship actually was. Because if I was getting constant DMs about my fiance or my husband, no marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
And the healthiest part of the relationship seems to be how they've decided to treat each other post-relationship.
They seem
like
and
really
we even
great
had we've had
friends.
Kenny, has been here a couple times in the past week. And I think the first time he talked about how how fascinating it is to how Kyle's been able, even Amanda, this kind of mutual respect and consideration, which now that we have all this information makes a lot of sense. And honestly makes it seem like their relationship was like a showman's. It was never really that real. It was mostly a business partnership. So outside of this
in the Hamptons,
literally outside of this relationship, it was like that's why they are so. It's kind of easy for them to still be amicable because, at the end of the day,
the passion wasn't there.
they never really were married.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys a question? This is and honestly, this really it's kind of using Amanda and Kyle as a jumping off point because their relationship is obviously so complicated. But I don't know. I've never been in a long-term relationship, right? And I guess I'm just there's always been part of me that's been scared of kind of that happening. The not no sex, but I guess just that point in a relationship.
Disconnected from your partner?
Yeah, because I
After a
guess I've
long period of
only I guess I've only gotten to the point of relationships where when my relationships have ended, it's ended still within that period of
sure,
you're
Well,
figuring each other out.
I mean, and also just to be clear, it's not just about the sex.
Well, yeah,
not
that's
to get
what I
into
mean. Of just
Natalie just had twins. I don't, when your partner's pregnant, there's not to
Dynamics change.
Well,
bring you guys into the
obviously,
bedroom, but early on, pretty easy to have things not change all that much. There's a certain point, especially with twins, where you're both kind of well, I'll see you in 6 months or something. But again, there's still a lot. Without having sex, there's still a ton of intimacy, even if it's holding hands or caressing or whatever. For outside of maybe the men on the valley, which it would blow my mind how it's just man, chill the fuck out, man. She's just she's
eating a sandwich.
She grew your child, and then she birthed your child, and now she's can you chill the fuck out?
She's
I would
a person.
say it has not been difficult for me, despite loving and being obsessed with my wife and enjoying the physical relationship that we have. It has not been difficult to just be that's not going to happen for a while. That's cool. It's part of a relationship. Again, there's a lot of other important things in a relationship that go into making sure you still feel connected and you still feel there's that physical intimacy, even though the act of sex isn't happening. I don't know if that answers your question.
It's just also
it's really about staying connected.
I'm really, I guess I guess I've just been watching a lot of reality TV for this job, and I think sometimes it messes with my brain on just long-term relationships in general.
Yeah.
And I'm and I was just wondering your guys' point of view on that as two people that were in it and then someone who's in a very nice long-term relationship,
I'm I think the biggest falsehood when it comes to relationships in general is that it's supposed to be easy. I'm I think that it's a lot of work and, you go through tough periods. When you're with somebody for a long period of time, there are years that you kind of wish you could forget about. And there are years that are oh my God, if I could go back and relive that again. So I'm there's been moments where I've been disconnected from my partner and, having to get back on the same page. It's uncomfortable. It's, waking up and being I don't feel I recognize you. And then trying to get back to a place where we're not being performative, but we're actually listening to each other and understanding and implementing what the other person needs that wasn't being given. And a lot of the times it's hard to hear that shit when somebody that you love so much looks at you and is I just wish that you could hear me more. Or when this happens and you're just I do everything I can, what I mean? And because it's very easy to take things personally, but I'm I think the bravest thing that anybody can do in a relationship is be honest about what you need from somebody else. And it's not in a sense of shortcomings. It's not like, oh, you can't, you don't, you refuse, and making it a fight. It's just like, hey, like, this is what I need. And when that person rises to that occasion, it's amazing. And sometimes you might have to fight about it 1, 2, 3 more times. But being on the other side of 9 years, I will say that I'm like, yeah, I don't regret any argument we've ever had. I don't regret any hard time that we ever had, because like I wouldn't be where I'm at right now if I would have given up.
But it's like Kyle and Amanda never really had
that
a day of feeling married.
Yeah, I guess that's
I think they didn't really want to understand each other. You know what I mean? Like where I'm just like, I think
that's the thing. They didn't want it.
I think that is literally the thing. And that's literally what you're asking about, I think, too, is like at a certain point in a relationship, so many people, I think most people that we see that are older, and it's like the romance is all gone and they're just like roommates at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And they argue, they bicker all the time. And it's like, if you don't want to understand your partner, if you're not on the same team and like facing things, like I do think you just grow apart. I feel like that it happens all the time. And I think probably when people are ready for relationships, and this is my guess because somebody who's trying to figure it out myself, but it's like once you realize, like, it's honestly the question that you say all the time, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? And it's like being able to really be like, okay, I just want to be happy with my partner. Like how can we be on the same page? How can we hear each other? And I think you're right. The most vulnerable thing you can do is like say what you need. And I think that's how you stay connected.
But that's what I'm always fascinated with Bravo, because that is the reality TV world in which I don't have actual experience. Like, you know, we've had the benefit of interviewing so many people, and, you know, we get into the weeds and we have a pretty clear understanding of how things work. But it's very different than like the Love Island and Bachelor world, right? Where you are you're in a controlled environment, you're in this bizarre world, and then after it, you're just kind of part of the real world, kind of decompressing from this thing. But even back to like in the reunion today, the last episode where they were talking about, was it Gavin? Where they're basically like, you did it for the cameras, that whole conversation. And I thought that was really fascinating because like they neither of them heard each other, where it was like they were saying the same thing and they were both like acting as if like their point made sense. It's like, well, no, we were doing it for the cameras. Like, well, I thought their explanation was kind of bullshit. But what's fascinating about it is like the more Bravo people I talk to, it's like what's so fascinating, especially the ones that have been on it for years, it's like they don't know the difference between what is on camera or outside of the camera, you know, and like in that world.
It's
like
the Truman. I watched I rewatched Truman Show recently just because I was like, you know, I haven't watched this since I've, you know, worked on a podcast. And I was just like thinking about it and watching Kyle and Amanda. It's like, yeah, there is, and I don't mean in the way that like they seem that they have like a relationship that's inauthentic or any sort of way, but it is like it's a mind fuck.
Kind of looks inauthentic,
but
because
it's like on accident. I don't think it was on
one
purpose.
level they have this mindset in Bravo is like, you know, save it for the show. You know, like, hey, there's this pressure that clearly Lindsay feels because like she's been carrying this whole season on her own to really like amp things up. So like if you have like, again, like Kyle's Amanda whole relationship was based off the show, that they would like, it sounds like they literally would save their arguments and fights for the show, which on one end makes them like kind of good at their job. But on the other end, that's going
to ruin your
inauthentic, where it's like, when does your life actually exist outside of the show? Or is your life the show? And it's so fascinating with Bravo. And then you have new cast members who come in who don't really know this world, are like watching the Kyles and Amanda of it all, like how they roll. And I think it makes them act very disingenuous early on, because it seems like Gavin, the only times every time Gavin speaks, and I said this with Kenny, it's like I can see him hear in his head someone say action, you know? Yeah. Where like no one's actually saying action in these environments, but like you can tell that Gavin is just like, all right, are we rolling? All right. And then he performs.
Yeah.
And that's not what we want.
Do you think that Kyle and Amanda staying together, it does feel like, okay, they save their arguments for when they shoot Summer House or whatever. Do you think that has more to do with like financially being like, okay, this is our cash cow. We got to show up. We got to make our money. Or do you think it's more so like that they believe that this show is their life, and that they are like, okay, well, this is what we have to do because we have a show to film. Like, does that make sense?
Mhm.
Like, do you think it's more about the money or more about like we need to show up and like we want to be
Like
known?
optics?
Yeah,
I think
optics.
it's
Honestly-
I think it's more about the money.
More about the money.
Well, you've heard Lindsay say and acknowledge, like, listen, I'm trying to feed my family. I'm trying to make this show in the city is like the future, is like their new, like Summer House, like Lindsay and Kyle, they're kind of still on it. They're always the speculation if they're going to continue on it. Sounds like for now they are, but like, what does it look like a few years from now? I know despite what Wes Wilson said and Lindsay feeling about it, like eventually like partying in the Hamptons is, eventually I just stopped going to clubs, it's just like, it stopped being fun for me, like my life was a little different, and regardless of being the show you on. So I think Lindsay and Kyle and them see, like in the city is their future opportunity.
financial.
And there's a lot of pressure. And if most of your income is not only from the show itself, but then the benefits and campaigns and all the partnerships that are all centered around this show, and what happens with that if that goes away. Look at the cast of Vanderpump. I mean, they're all, like outside the people who have been able to transition to the Valley, like it's a scary thing, like it's kind of like you hear it all the time with like professional athletes, like when they retire.
Oh,
and they retire and they're 30 years old. And they have the rest of their life, and maybe some of them are lucky enough to make millions, but like even the people who make millions, they were spending millions too. And then all of a sudden, like their entire life changes, where like what they were making and what they were spending, and they have to change their spending because and honestly, I mean, it's a very serious thing that a lot of people in that space truly struggle with. And like in a reality TV world where those opportunities are not normal and they're disproportionate to like what most people make in their jobs. And when that can abruptly end, it's such a, what have you done for me lately business in Hollywood. And the pressure is very real. And it's really fascinating.
I was watching this interview with like Sue Bird one time, who's like a basketball player. And she was like, she had retired, and she was like, athletes die twice. You have like your first death, which is when you retire, and then when you die. Also, like she had a relationship with like another athlete, and they both had retired, and they ended up breaking up. They're amicable on good terms and stuff, but like they talked a lot about of just like in retirement, when you're in such a high pressure environment with each other, of just going, when you leave that, and then you have this whole other aspect of this relationship, and also your identity that you then have to rediscover. I imagine that's like
It's probably
a really
very similar to Kyle
reality
and Amanda.
TV.
Yeah.
Maybe are reality TV stars just professional athletes in a different font? I'm asking you too.
Honestly, kind of like the idea
some
of like
way,
retiring,
There are similarities between like the life cycle.
Yeah.
What if you're both? Like a West Wilson, perhaps.
Is he a professional athlete?
He was a football player for a minute
In
there.
college?
Does that not count?
Well, no, it's literally
like
not professional.
Professional athletes
I'm
and
sorry,
their
I mean, it's
partners
fan bases?
do make really good
Well,
reality
I'm just
TV
saying,
stars,
like by
though.
the definition of the NCAA, I'm just saying, you're not.
I'm just trying to transition
now,
here.
we're getting in the weeds because now college can
Well,
make
yeah,
money.
this is pre.
Yeah, that's fair.
What is it called?
He's also D3.
Okay, my apologies.
not-
I gave you too much credit, West Wilson.
Yeah, let's not pretend that West Wilson was getting drafted.
But the reason why I brought this up is because, speaking of somebody who didn't make it in football and also obviously didn't make it on the next season of Summer House, he's trying very hard to get his name still talked about. So it would appear, because it was Jesse Solomon's sold out New York show last week, and on the exact same night that they're filming Summer House and his show,
It was at the Bowery.
in New York City, Wes Wilson decides to post for the first time in God knows how long on his Instagram a carousel. And in said carousel is a photo of West and Jesse sitting on his couch, obviously after like a night out or whatever, just keying it up. And the internet went wild. They were like, how could you?
Interesting.
How could you forgive? How could you be friends with? So much so that it caused Jesse to comment on West's post and say that this was an old photo before the statement.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
And then allegedly, I don't know if it was West, I doubt it was Jesse, but the comment got deleted. Okay.
Well, who deleted the comment is such a big.
I just don't know if
part.
Jesse felt the need to post it. I don't know why he would and know that people are going to see it and that traction happened. I don't know that he was like, you know what? Now that there's articles about it, let me delete this.
I can. That actually seems more believable.
Then West being like, this is embarrassing. Let me delete this comment.
Yeah.
Huh.
I'm not saying that's what happened.
Okay.
But it's more believable because I think male relationships, they tend to move on quicker. Sometimes they just kind of can let things go.
You guys don't harp on a friend breakup?
Yeah, I mean, like, and I think it's a little savage of the way West posted that, but it would be more believable that West posted that and the internet reacted the way it did. And then Jesse felt a certain way and a little maybe scared about like reactions and went to the comments quickly and felt a little silly because I think we all know, and Jesse's essentially said this, that Jesse plans on being friends with West whenever the internet allows it. Like he wants to. I think secretly they're probably closer than he leads on.
He did make a follow-up TikTok that said, we're all tired of talking about it.
Jesse he's tired of talking about it. He's not tired. He's not tired of West. He's not tired of he didn't say I'm done with Jesse. And like even in the city reunion, people who are like aren't. It's like when they asked Danielle, like, have you seen Wes Wilson? I will never talk. It's like everyone's so quick to be like, I will never talk to this man ever. Like,
Yeah, you will.
Well, I don't even know if some of them are friends, but like, I think Jesse has every intention of being friends, and he probably is friends with West right now. He's just not talking about it.
Oh, I hope
it would be
not.
real savage for West to delete Jesse's comment because West wants to think and plus, the gig's already up. It's like if West deleted the comment, like he's not deleting the fact that people saw the comment. So what's the purpose of West deleting that comment? If he did, that would be real dirty because that makes it seem like he deliberately wanted people to think that Jesse and West were hanging out when they weren't yet.
Yeah,
but that makes sense because he posted it.
And also, if you want to talk about deleting and reposting, West also posted for Amanda's birthday. With a really face-apt photo. I guess it's an inside joke, whatever. But the first post said...
It's a bad inside joke.
Literally. The first post said HBD homegirl at Amanda Batula, which he deleted and then reposted with HBD twin at Amanda Batula. And then he posted what the meaning of twin is, which is together we ignore negativity.
If I had blown up my entire life for a man to get into a relationship with him, and the best he could give me was maybe Illy and HBD twin, I'm taking myself out back.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they can do no right now.
But,
it's like, whatever.
Yeah, here's my...
I just put posting Facetune photos of each other where you objectively look much hotter in those... is a choice. I don't know.
A choice.
It's like lying about your height on a dating app.
Or accepting the bare minimum after you expected the world out of a marriage. It's just like the mentality I just don't understand. Whereas
I don't think Amanda understands her choices.
Yeah.
I don't think she does.
Because I'm like, Wes can literally get away with doing absolutely nothing. There's more rumors about him than there were about Kyle and the longevity of their marriage.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And yet you're upset with Kyle for drinking and going out all the time. Wes is going out all the time. Apparently there's rumors of cheating and friends that he can't talk to anymore. And then for your birthday, after all of this bullshit, you get HBD homegirl, scratch that HBD twin.
I'm going to put myself out there and say that I think Jesse deleted that comment. And I think someday we will find out the truth. I don't think we're going to find out anytime soon, but someday Andy will continue to do his job. And at the right time, this question will be asked. And
Yeah.
I'm going to go to call she and
gonna
bet right
on
now
that?
that it was Jesse who deleted it, not West.
My theory is because West has said things about him being on pause, essentially, where people are like, we don't want you back. That I think that he intentionally posted that in his carousel to make it look like they're hanging out because he wanted, while they're filming Summer House that night at Jesse's show, to be a topic of conversation. Because I think he wants their name to be coming up as much as possible during this season of Summer House to prove that you need them to come back for the next season.
But the thing is,
it's an interesting theory. We'll find out someday.
Yeah.
Finally, Nick of Nicolandria,
Former Nicolandria,
no longer follows the evil
David.
David. And by evil, that's not like literally disgusting, evil, horrendous.
Yeah,
awful.
Do you feel, we talked about this on Tuesday's episode. Do you feel safe enough to acknowledge that maybe you didn't really believe in that relationship?
Do I feel safe enough to acknowledge?
Because before it was like, there was like a secret club of people, like, and by a secret club, I mean like most of the world who was afraid to say anything because of the Nicolandria stands coming for their throats.
Oh, no, I don't think I was ever scared. I was just kind of like, in my head, I just think it makes sense. It was like, if you stay together for a year, keep it low key, show up at a couple events, like, it's good for business. So I'm like, I don't really have a strong opinion either way. I'm like, whether you guys were really together and loved each other or it became a business decision, by all means, get your bag.
Well, it's time to talk a little dancing because right now we are looking for our next Dancing with the Stars pro, and we have Stephani Sosa, the sister of Ezra Sosa, who is already a pro and one of the newer pros and one of the more popular pros, and his sister is competing for her opportunity to join her brother on next season of Dancing with the Stars, and we have her to talk about her recent shenanigans. Is it Fight Club or is it competing with a chance of Dancing with the Stars? We'll find out next with Stephani Sosa. Stephani, welcome to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me.
We're so excited to have you. So many things to talk about, but what a fun show. We love that Dancing with the Stars has really found its like, I'm jealous as someone who a long time ago was on Dancing with the Stars. I wish.
You're a part of the golden era.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time to be a part of it.
It's like a little looser now. It's a little more modern, like the TikToks and things. And it's like you're incorporating more like modern dancing. Back in the day, it was just like fucking just ballroom and then like a little stuffy. I'm envious, but we're very excited to have you. I'm really curious if I know you can't tell us if you won at all, but
we're rooting for you.
I knew you were gonna try to get out of me. I was like prepared.
Stay strong.
Your brother obviously famously is a part of the show, and he's a very popular part of the show.
Yes.
Did you feel like you had any advantages, and more importantly, did you feel like your peers that you were competing against almost felt like were acting as if like, oh, maybe you had an unfair advantage because of who your brother was? Or like, how did that affect how you kind of felt welcomed or how you interacted with your peers?
Yeah. Going into the competition, I really wanted to just prove myself, because I know Edge was my brother, and I just wanted to go and show them like who I was as a dancer and a person. I did feel like there was sort of an advantage because, I was Ezra's sister. But also, like, I really wanted to prove myself. Yeah. And just from my experience on Troop prior, I kind of knew what the show was looking for. So I think in that way, I had an advantage. But I also didn't know what challenges we were going to do. I didn't know that Shirley Ballas was going to be a judge. Like, that's terrifying because she's, like, the queen of Latin. So definitely went in just, like, ready to prove myself, if anything. I just really wanted to earn a spot on the show.
And is the troupe, do they have like their own little world in Dancing with the Stars? Like, is there like drama within the troupe that the fans aren't often made aware of?
You're so chismoso. You're trying to get all the tea. No, honestly, I had the best time when I was on troupe. Like, we had a little squad going, and I don't know about this season's troupe, but I definitely had the best time. I was just like dancing on TV and just like living my best life.
When did you start dancing?
I started when I was 7.
Oh, wow. Okay. And then did you and your brother like start together, or did he get into it and then you followed in his footsteps?
So basically we were like this growing up, and whatever I did, he had to do. So I started doing ballet, and he saw me in ballet class and was like, I want to do that. And then ever since then, we just been like, we stuck to it together. So yeah.
Were you a little envious or jealous?
Of Ezra?
Yeah, when he obviously took off, or was it just more inspiration?
No, I was so proud of him because like we grew up in like a really hard situation. Just being able to see him thrive and be authentically himself. He never had that growing up. Like he never felt safe enough to do that. So seeing him do that was just so inspiring for me. And yeah, I feel like our careers help each other as well. Like, I give him advice on things, like vice versa. And yeah, I'm really proud of him.
And you were dancing on Broadway that year, right? When he went to Dancing with the Stars as a pro, is that right?
Yeah, I did an off-Broadway show. Well, it wasn't off-Broadway. It was like pre-Broadway. It was like a little run. Cool. Yeah, it was really fun.
Yeah. So I feel like great things were happening for both of you at the same time, just differently.
Yeah.
I'm always fascinated by from the dancer standpoint, because not only do you guys have to dance as well as you do, the choreography is I'm always fascinated with in terms of like how each week you guys have to come up with the choreography that the stars do. Like, do you find that enjoyable, or what is more difficult for you, like the performance of the dances or coming up with the choreography for the dances?
Honestly, I will say coming up with the choreography can be a little scary sometimes because you are going to be in front of TV and it's very different than choreographing on stage. But yeah, I sometimes feel like I get a little look out when I perform because I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is crazy. Like we're on television. But yeah, choreographing can be a little hard.
I will say the nails are on fleek though. Like they are so cute, but that would be a lot to have come into an eyeball.
I gotta say, I mean, really, the whole storyline of this obviously accident that happened, I think really leans into an amazing way, like almost like as if this competition has gotten really, really like physically violent. But so like, let's just start with what actually happened in terms of this accident where, you know, because of your left hook.
Oh my God.
You basically got someone sent home because they had a concussion.
That was really hard for me. I mean, I grew up, like I know Natalie personally.
Okay.
We came from the same dance studio and it just broke my heart that she left the competition early, you know, and I definitely like, it was a really hard week for me because I just felt like horrible, and she's such a beautiful dancer in person. So it was really hard for me, but.
What was that conversation like with Natalie when you found out that she couldn't no longer compete because she had like an honest serious injury, a concussion? Like what? I mean, that must be very difficult for a friendship to get through, because I imagine just like you really hope to win this. I mean, to be a part of a pro on Dancing with the Stars must be a very exciting and very cool opportunity. And regardless of it being an accident, like she no longer was able to compete. So how did you guys as friends work through that challenge?
Did go up to her and check on her. And honestly, I just was like crying to her, and I was just telling her how sorry I was because I felt so bad. Like I know how hard she's worked to be there. You know, we all worked really hard. So I was just, it broke my heart, and I'm just like sending her so much love. So. And
you guys are still cool?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
We actually worked together before the show. So
okay. That's great.
Yeah, she's like a little sis. She's
that's
like
awesome.
so cute.
What would it mean to you to become a pro?
Wow. That would mean like everything to me. You know, growing up, my family sacrificed a lot for us to dance, and all of the sacrifices that my parents made, and like, we went through so much, and it would just be a dream come true. Me and Ezra always dreamed of like being on Dancing with Stars together. We used to like sit down as a family and watch it and then we'd be like, me and Ezra were like, that's going to be us. Like, that's going to be us doing it.
That's crazy.
So it's like so crazy that like we did get to live out a little bit of that dream, like with me on Troop and him as like first year being a pro. Like that year was like so surreal for me and my family, and yeah.
Wow. If you were to become a pro, do you have a celebrity in mind that would be like your dream partner?
Wait, do we know the next? We know the next cast, right? No, we only know a few.
I think we know a few, right? Not everybody.
Yeah. My dream would be Ryan Gosling.
That's a great one. That's so, La La Land.
Gosh, no, because he like was amazing in La La Land, and I know he has such great charisma, and I feel like he'd be so fun to work with, and we would just create magic, and like we just are very opposite, and I'm like, oh, that would be a dream, and I love actors, so I'm like,
that would be
take direction.
That would be a dream.
Yeah.
Is there a reality TV personality that may have a better chance of ending up on Dancing with the Stars?
Even if they've been on before.
Really? I don't know.
Perhaps me.
Honestly, I would.
No, that's not where I was going.
He's just saying from our universe.
They're not having you finished in the middle of the pack competition like the All Star Light.
You should come back.
All Star Light.
Yeah.
Dance with Ezra and come back.
I would love to. I'll dance with anyone. Mostly because like, and I've said this before, like I would have more fun. It was just so nerve-wracking.
It's so stressful when you're in that environment.
Yeah. And I had I went far enough that once I got eliminated, they kept bringing me back, because towards obviously the end of the season they kind of have to fill out a whole show, and then they had me redo some of my better dances, and those were like way more fun because there was no pressure, and my performance was way better. And I wish I had the confidence and the kind of carefree attitude once I was eliminated. That would be fun to redo, but sadly my
I need to go back and see your dances.
It was okay. Yeah, I did okay. I did fine. I didn't embarrass myself.
She's like, yeah.
Is that the season where you brought other people on like from the Bachelor world, or was that Joe? Didn't Joe were you on with Joe?
I did dance with Joe.
Okay, but he was on it, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
They brought me. That's right. I did.
So
I did,
you've
I did
been on
get-
it a couple
I did
times.
get to come. Fair enough.
Okay.
I kind of forgot about all that.
Yeah. I thought
yeah.
maybe that was your season. I didn't watch.
No, that
back
was
then,
Joe.
but- Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
They did not. Again, it wasn't quite as dynamic back then. It was
Yeah.
pretty straightforward.
Yeah, I feel like it's very popular now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But going back to Nick's original question, do you have a reality TV
Yeah.
star you'd like to be paired with?
Ah, that's such a good question. I have my favorites that I would like to see other people paired with.
Ooh, okay.
I love Kenzie. I think she would be perfect for the show.
Well,
like
She'd be good.
She's gonna have to wait at
She'd be
least
doing
a
those
year.
splits every dance. and I would be loving it.
I would support that because honestly, even her dance in the villa was kind of tea.
Her
Yeah.
opening.
Yeah.
What
yeah,
would
her
you-
voice. I was like,
And her
oh, she's a
voice.
singer.
Like,
Give her a mic.
you know, every now and then, Dance with the Stars loves to cast a villain. They love to
okay.
bring maybe someone who's trying to bounce back. Are you familiar with the name West Wilson?
No.
Oh,
Mm.
if you
I don't really I'm not in the loop with the love
Okay.
shows.
No, that's-
I need
that's
to be
okay.
more in the
No,
loop
that's-
with them.
no,
What
Yeah.
about Ace from Love Island? Did you watch that season?
Oh yeah.
whoever it is, but if you got casted with someone and they were like, and then all of a sudden you went online and like, yo, Stephani, do you know who this is? And they're like, everyone hates him,
He's
you
the
know, and
worst.
how do you think
Ooh,
you
that's a good
would you
question.
enjoy that challenge to try to like get the, because everyone has, in reality TV, no one's as bad or as good as they come across. They're all just humans. So like,
Yeah.
would you enjoy that challenge to try to make the world see this person in a better light through your choreography? Or would that be nerve-wracking to feel that pressure of, the person you're dancing with has an army of haters online?
I feel like dance is beautiful because it does bring out the best in people. And I would love to have one of the boys from this past season because they did get a lot of heat, like Casey. I would love to dance with him and just like, I don't know, be able to see a side, like bring out a side of him that's like, that's like truly authentically himself, I feel like that would
Okay.
be like fun to do.
Okay. Well, maybe Nick. So Nick could do
I was
it.
thinking Tom Sandoval.
Tom
That
Has
one
he
would
ever
be
done
a-
it? He's never done it.
I don't think so.
Oh, that
Ariana
would be.
did it.
Guys, I don't know these people.
It's okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
You
We're
don't
like
like
we're
Sandoval?
picturing them with you.
No,
you
but
know.
I'm like, I love it. I never.
I need to get
But
a
you
better
did watch
hobby.
Your
Love
mental
Island.
health must be great.
I watched the season because
Yeah.
it was really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Benji and Selena recently have had some feelings about
Oh, Nina. Yeah.
What has it been like for you to be working with her?
Yeah, it's funny because actually she was one of the girls I was closest to in the house. We were roommates.
Mhm.
And yeah, I definitely felt like it was hard to see all of that happen. Like my experience with her was very different. She definitely had my back a lot of the time. And I don't know, can't speak to like how she was with other people, but with me, she was really sweet. So
Okay.
Love that.
So filming this show, I mean, you've got competitions, you've got partner group work, the whole thing. And obviously living together. What is the most difficult part of that process for you?
that's so hard. It's probably not getting in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just like the stakes are so high. I've like, done all of like the work to get to this point. So I think just not getting in my head was really hard.
I'm going to say as a dancer, I feel like you guys are so, obviously in your body, but also it's like there's so much rigorous work and I feel like perfectionism and whatnot. And competition, I'm just like, how do you guys stay friendly with each other and how do you not compare and you know what I mean? Like take things personally in such a competitive state.
Yeah, it's hard because dance is very competitive
Yeah.
and the stakes were very high. But I think just like remembering that all of us had something unique that we were bringing to the table. And it's just a matter of the judges being like, okay, who is it that we see as a pro? And we were there to grow and learn and really like prove that we could handle the stress, handle all these challenges. Because that's like what it's like on the show
Right.
as a pro. Like
Right.
that stress, all of that like is part of it. So
And you grew up in Salt Lake City, right?
Yes.
And I feel like dance culture is huge there. And there's so many people on Dancing with the Stars that are from
yeah,
Salt Lake,
majority
right?
of the pros are from my dance studio, Center Stage Performing Arts in
Okay.
Utah. So
Wow.
It must be
So you guys
intense
have
there.
history.
yeah, like it was intense, but in the best way. Like it made
Are
me
there
the
like
dancer I am.
pictures of like Dancing with the Stars performances like hanging on the walls? Is
Yeah,
it-
there's
right?
like baby Jenna on the
Wow.
wall,
Okay, yeah.
baby Whitney, like Lindsay, Riley. I grew up dancing with Riley and Brinley Arnold's like another one of her
Yeah.
sisters, and Jensen. So it's just crazy. We're all connected. We all grew up in the same place and like wanting the same things. So it was
Right.
like cool.
God forbid you don't win. Will you still want to be a part of the troupe, or will it be a little difficult to show up to Dancing with the Stars and not be the pro that you wanted to be, or will you just kind of be like, you know what, just in another step and maybe a longer process to fulfill your dream?
Yeah. If I don't win, I would love to still be part of the show in any way. It's like my dream to be on that show. And when I did Troop, it was like the biggest dream come true for me. And I do feel like me and Ezra are just like meant to work together. Like we just grew up doing this together. And, and if God forbid I'm not a part of any of it, then like just continuing my journey and growing. Cause like I grew so much from last year, even like doing Next Pro. I just felt like even the past 2 weeks I grew so much as a person, as a dancer. And I just want to see how far I can go. And like whatever's meant to happen for me will, be my path. So.
That's awesome. What advice has your brother given you? And then how has he helped you throughout this competition?
He's given me like, choreographic advice, like all that stuff. But like at the end of the day, he's like, just please be yourself. Cause like he's always like, you're such a beautiful person. And he just wants me to shine and not to get in my head. Cause I tend to get in my head a lot.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, to back up Ezra there, I was like, your energy is so beautiful. And I honestly think whatever opportunities are coming for you, it's going to be amazing. So yeah. And you're a beautiful dancer. So
Thank you.
It'll all work out.
Thank you.
Totally. Speaking of opportunities, I just was curious how it was to dance with Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl halftime.
Oh my gosh, yes. Wow, that was like, okay, Dance for Bad Bunny was a dream come true, especially being Latina and just being a part of something so monumental, part of history. And yeah, I remember when I got the call for that, I just like cried for like an hour because that was like my dream job to like be a part of something so special representing my community. And like I never thought I would have that opportunity growing up. So like it just was really cool for me to like be a part of that.
That's
Super Bowl
amazing.
halftime show.
That was iconic.
Iconic.
By the way, yeah.
Do you play it every day? I would.
No, honestly, sometimes when I'm feeling down, I'll play Bad Bunny.
I love
I'm
it.
like, I did that. Don't get in your head stuff. But yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Well, we're excited to see how the season ends up, and definitely rooting for you.
Thank you.
I think it would be very cool to have a brother and sister. Have we had a brother and sister? I know we've had sisters and we've had brothers.
We've had Derek and Julian.
Geez.
The most famous.
They're so iconic. They're so cool.
Sorry, you two. Forgot about you, Derek. Yeah, the Huffs. The Hufflepuffs.
Oh, I'm dead. No.
Well, good luck the rest of the way.
Thank you so much.
Really thank you for coming and giving us a chance to get a little insight on this very fun new show that I think everyone's really enjoying. And if nothing else, like that is so cool to be a part of a new hit show on Hulu. And it sounds like Hulu's really found something really exciting. And I think it's really cool that the Dancing with the Stars community is kind of building this universe that I think is going to make the show Dancing with the Stars and obviously your new show be around for a long time, and that's really fun to see. So congratulations on just all your success so far, and I imagine you have a lot more success coming your way, regardless of what happens with this competition. But it's really cool to see, and congratulations on everything.
Thank you so much, guys.
Congrats.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Yay! Well, I hope she wins.
Me too.
Me too. She seems awesome.
I feel like
so sweet.
they're not going to let her win because of
Ezra.
But I mean, I feel like this goes against like a lot of the arguments people have about Nepo babies. Like she's putting in,
Well,
work.
I'm pro Nepo baby.
I know you
But she's
are.
not really a Nepo baby.
She's not.
No,
it's just
yeah.
like she's also talented and happens to be related.
She
to-
just comes from a talented family.
Yeah.
And she's already, I thought that when they cast her on the show, I was like, she's already been in the troupe, which I feel like is an advantage. But I'm like, it would be so unfair to not give her the chance to do the show because she earned her spot in the troupe. And that in itself, like, they work so hard. It's crazy.
Win or lose, I feel like she's got a future as a pro.
I have a theory. Actually, I have a theory. I have like a fan fiction theory for myself. I want her to get cast in a musical the same way like Footloose happened and like have her become a breakout star. And then she comes back on Dancing with the Stars as a star, not a pro, and dances with Ezra.
Ooh.
That's my dream for her.
Except that
She would win so easily.
no,
For sure.
No, she wouldn't though. She wouldn't because
I guess the audience votes America.
well, only because like so much about Dancing with the Stars, people want to see. She would go really far because she's so good, but eventually they do love
An underdog.
and it was like crazy and fun to see Joey be so good and get better and better throughout, like or in Dylan and the people you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
it's like
True.
I'm just kind of like, she already was on the troupe. She did the show. Just give her the slot.
Give her the slot.
You know what I mean? Like she's for
No, but
next
what it
season.
could be more like, it could be more, if she doesn't win, it could be, then she gets casted in some show or video or whatever. And almost like Jennifer Hudson, right? Famously didn't win American Idol.
Yeah,
Mhm.
But
still
then went-
mad at you, Simon Cowell.
But then went on to like win an Oscar, and I think has she won
Right.
all of them? Has she like got
Oh,
an
yeah,
EGOT
she's-
or something?
She's close to it, if not.
So close.
Yeah.
So she could like go not if she doesn't
Yeah.
win, and then come back as a pro,
Mhm.
even more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah. Then she'd have even more.
or
like, pull
she wins,
the votes.
which wouldn't also would be
Correct the
surprising.
record, by the way. She does have an EGOT.
Jennifer Hudson does have an EGOT.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Isn't that
Yeah,
crazy?
that's what I'm wanting.
Wasn't
for
she
Not
like the
surprising
third
at all.
runner-up or something for American Idol?
She was 6th place.
Yeah, because
Sixth place?
Sixth place.
famously Simon Cowell was stupid.
She lost to Fantasia, who,
Yeah.
you know.
Who?
Exactly.
Fantasia. Yeah.
I love Fantasia. I love her.
This is no
shade to
She was
Fantasia.
talented.
Sixth
yeah.
place, and she. Oh my god.
But it's just like J HUD, you know? How do you say no to J HUD? That's just star quality.
It's
right
better
there.
when you don't win on some of those shows,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
for their careers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so maybe
Historically.
this will be.
Yeah,
Maybe
Who
this will be
knows?
the same.
we'll find
Well,
out.
it's a really fun show, and if you're not watching it, and you should be, it's light, it's fun. They're telling a Dancing with the Stars story. They're really creating a universe in the best possible
Everyone's
way.
so talented. You get to see the behind the scenes of what it takes to be a pro, how competitive the dance world is.
And there's fighting.
Yeah.
Which is great. All right, well, up next, we have Jazzy Collins. She is a casting director in this business of reality TV. And like we said before the show, she has experience casting The Traitors, Love Island, The Bachelor, Circle, and some other shows. But she is with us to talk all the inside baseball of what it's like to be a casting director, what it takes to be casted on these types of shows, all the intricacies of casting and what they're looking for. And she also has a fun opinion on Nick Landria, which I love. Up next, Jazzy Collins. Is work crazy? Are your kids driving you nuts? Has it been forever since you did something just for yourself? Well, if this sounds like you, Spa Weekend, the hilarious new comedy from directors of Bad Moms and the writers of The Hangover, might just be what you need. It's all about 4 lifelong friends played by Leslie Mann, Isla Fisher, Michelle Buteau, and Anna Faris. They're all burned out, overdue for a break, and desperate for a weekend away from it all. So they escape to a luxury spa retreat for what should be the most relaxing weekend of their lives, except nothing goes as planned. Well, I was lucky enough to get a screener of this amazing movie. Nally and I absolutely loved it. It's funny, hilarious. It's exactly what you and your friends need for a fun, laugh out loud movie. In other words, you deserve a spa weekend. Book your escape Spa Weekend, only in theaters August 21st. Comfort, flexibility, and durability can make a huge difference over the course of a long day, and that's why we love Figs. If you have a healthcare worker in your family, you probably have already heard how great Figs are, and if by some miracle you have not, well, you need to listen up. Figs scrubs are made with soft, breathable, stretchy fabric designed to help keep you comfortable throughout the long days. You've heard Nally, who used to be a surgical technologist in her previous life. That's all she wore was scrubs, and when we were dating early in our relationship, I would often gift her just a new pair of scrubs. It was just an easy way to let her know that I care. And she was always thrilled to get a new, wonderful pair of scrubs. Figs also offers outerwear, accessories, loungewear, and even New Balance collection sneakers. If you're also not in healthcare, I got to say, I always enjoyed stealing Nally's scrubs. And they're also just really comfortable. They're stylish. That you can dress them up. They look good with a sweater. Some chucks. It really is wonderful. And if you want to brighten all those amazing healthcare workers that happen to be in your life, and if you want to brighten their day, give them the gift of scrubs. They will truly appreciate it. So if you are listening and in healthcare, or you just know someone who is, it's the perfect time to upgrade your scrubs to Figs. Use code FIGSRX for 15% off your first order at wearfigs.com. That's wearfigs.com. Code FIGSRX. You're going to love these. Jazzy Collins, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Very
Thanks for
excited to
having
have
me.
you.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited.
You reminded me that we met briefly at an event,
Yes.
but our paths it's almost shockingly that we never really met
I know.
until this moment. But for those of you, and we obviously introduced Jazzy already, but you're like a reality TV casting extraordinaire.
Thank you.
Can you tell our audience a little bit about your resume?
It's a long resume.
For all of their favorite reality TV shows that you have worked on or been a part of.
Yes, I've worked on Love Island season 2. I've done Bachelor and Bachelorette. I started with Rachel Lindsay season, ended up until Peter's season. And then I also worked on The Circle. I worked on Traders. I worked on Family or Fiance for Oprah Winfrey Network. I'm doing probably all of the shows that you enjoyed to watch at some point, whether you're sitting on the couch drinking some wine or the folks that are just like looking from a distance and like, maybe I'll watch that show. I probably worked on it.
And like some could say that you're one of the most sought after gatekeepers, because like being a reality TV star has really shot up the list in terms of like dream jobs.
Yeah.
Out there. We were talking last episode about how influencing is now a college degree, which is another topic in itself. But the only reason I am even considered an influencer, which is like just a weird bucket to put myself in, but it's solely based off of my time on reality TV, and it is the easiest path in terms of getting an influencing career. And so I'm sure there's a lot of people listening, even just with great interest of like, hopefully you can give them some tips and tricks on how to get on their favorite reality TV show. But obviously we would love to ask you some BTS and about like what kind of goes in the mindset of casting. And I guess how involved is casting throughout, where does casting start and stop in terms of the production of it all? I mean, there's so many questions, but where do we even want to start?
I guess my first question would be like, what do you look at someone for and think, oh my God, they're going to make great TV?
Just the way they carry themselves. You can see that when you walk into a Whole Foods or a restaurant and they just have like that spark, that shine. And you're like, who is this person? I want to know a little bit more about them. And then from there, you can usually ask them questions or talking to them. And you realize you're like, oh, this person would probably be great for television. And you kind of go from there. But every show is different. You got to treat it almost like, a different beast every time, whether it's a competition show, you're going to looking for those competitor types, looking for people that are like in it to win it. Or if you're looking for like a dating show, those people that are like ready to put themselves out there and like be excited about it. And also good looking. That's important.
Well, let's start and focus on the dating shows, which is obviously something Susie and I know a lot about. I am curious because with Love Island being kind of the hot show right now and the most popular love competition show out there, and it used to be The Bachelor. And we come from kind of the Bachelor world, and yet we also are just huge Love Island fans. I'm curious from someone who's worked on both shows, what are the differences and similarities between how you guys go about casting those two respective shows?
That is a very good question. Bachelor, there was just so many people that were applying for that show. So the beauty of it was almost just like going through submissions and then realizing what are we missing? What holes do we need to fill? And then it's based on obviously diversity or, just background, jobs. Are they actually going to be compatible with this bachelor or bachelorette? That's where we usually were looking for on that side. But in terms of Love Island, a lot of it, you have to actually like find these people. A lot of people will apply. I worked on season 2, but season 2, no one was really interested in that show. So we were actually on social media, on Instagram, scrolling through people and seeing if they would be a good fit based on like obviously what they looked like. But then I would talk to them and have conversations with them. And are they actually looking to find love and put themselves out there for a summer? Also, the time commitments for both shows are very long. So we lose people because of that. Like if you are like, hey, can you give up 4 to 6 weeks of your life? Especially for Love Island, some people don't even make the show because they're just being held to be hopefully a bombshell or something. And they might sit there for like 3 weeks and not end up on the show. And you're like, oh, well,
sorry.
So sorry. But also, are you open to doing that and trying that? And Bachelor, you already know, like once you get out that limo, you're on the show, right? So it's a very, very different beast for both. But at the same time, you want those similar types. You still want people that are excited to be on TV and excited to date on television, but also, are you ready for marriage? Probably Bachelor. Are you not ready for marriage? Love Island.
So we had an appeal on who wrote a really cool book about the oral history of Love Island. And she talked about, even though Love Island is as successful it is now, and they get so like it sounds like they're getting the applications that Bachelor
yes
was so used to getting. But even despite so many applications, they're still, when it comes to casting, the majority of their casting, you know, still comes from you going online, looking at Instagrams. Is that
Still, yeah, still much like that.
And is the reason for that because obviously, is it like some of the people who apply never really had a chance to begin with, or what is that?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think there's plenty of people that have applied for a show and they'll actually make the show.
Okay.
It's just they might not have the right look. They might not have the availability. They end up in a relationship while you're casting it. So it could be just a multitude of reasons why.
So I remember, you know, when I was casting on The Bachelor, I remember, and it's a story that me and producers will joke and reflect on. But my understanding of kind of my casting kind of journey was casting really advocated for me. And then like one of the producers, she just happened to be the one in charge, really liked me. But like the rest of the producers were not fucking with me.
Really?
They,
and you knew that? Or they told you that after?
They told me that after.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
And their logic was, at the time, I was in my early 30s. I had like a job. And they're just like, this guy's going to be, he's kind of like too old and probably too safe. And he's just not going to be as messy as, you know, a 24-year-old bartender who's like not worried about what his employer is going to, you know, think when he get him to do some crazy shit.
Right.
And then after, you know, talking to people in production, you know, especially on Bachelor, it was just like, I mean, there's like
so
30, 40 producers.
So many people.
And like everyone has an opinion. So I'm curious for you, the question to you is, who are maybe a couple people that you had to advocate for them against maybe the opinions of some producers who were like, I don't know, I'm not seeing it. And you ended up being correct.
Yes. A really good example of that was Lee for The Circle. I don't know if you watched The Circle. I think that was season 2, I believe.
Which one was Lee?
Lee was the older gentleman that was on the Circle.
Yes.
The show skews millennial Gen Z, very young, fresh, excitable energy. And I interviewed Lee and I loved him. I was like, something about him feels like a warm hug. And I really want to see him on the show. And it's nice to see older people on a show. I think we always are like, we need someone that's hot and 20 to 28. But I was like, there's a whole demographic that you were missing. And then you could also start getting them to watch, because if they see someone that looks like them, they're more likely to watch. Lee was that person. And then literally ever since then, they started having more older types onto the show.
Do
That's a good one.
Do you think that sometimes, obviously we're watching reality TV, especially these love competition shows a lot of the times, for hot people?
Yeah.
Understandable. Do you think that there's a part of that almost keeps reality TV from being like as quote unquote real as it could be, from having maybe not like ugly people, more just like normal people, like, you know, every day. I was gonna say like all of
maybe
us,
like
and then as we have
I'm curious.
to, you know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Like, you know what I mean?
I think that's why there's like Love is Blind now. Like, I
Yeah,
think
Love
that
is Blind
Are you
feels
saying they're
that-
ugly on Love is Blind?
Whoa.
Well, it's not Love Island, you know what I'm saying? Like,
There's very different types of people that
70s
go on
hot
both
versus
shows.
CW
There's
hot.
also Age of Attraction now, right? Where you have, you know, older folks that are on the show and they're dating, and then you also have the younger. You get the mix. I think people are realizing that like dating can go beyond the hot 20-year-olds.
Yeah.
And people will
it
get
does.
invested
Yeah.
and be excited about it. So why not have those and explore those journeys? So there's just different shows for that. Love Island is not going to be the show where we're going to watch 40-year-old singles, unfortunately.
Could be.
It could be.
I don't need to see them pitting
for
sardines.
Sunset.
Yeah.
What was
I
it?
don't
What
even
is
need
it,
to see people now eating
Sunset Island or something?
Sunset Island. Yeah, we were like,
Oh, that's cute.
yeah, we were like, give us a little like
Yeah.
golden era of
Yes.
Love
Well,
Island.
Piggybacking off of Mary's question, I guess in casting, how do you find the balance between real and aspirational, right? Because you know, with reality TV, we want it to feel authentic and real, but at the same time, you want it to feel aspirational. You want people. That's why we love. You know, what makes these shows popular, especially like a Love Island, like these. you know, it's the whole parasocial, you know, like these people have become Sims, you know, they're these entities that we watch, and these fans will literally see themselves or attach some kind of like connective tissue, which is what makes them so passionate about these people.
It also helps that they're watching them like 5 days a week, right?
Yeah.
Right.
More than any other show out there. Where, I mean, besides like Big Brother is probably the closest where you get to see people and you can actually watch them live on, you know, have those live cams. But yeah, to answer your question, I think people are open to. I would say a lot of people are really interested in seeing folks that look like themselves, folks that are, you know, from your hometown. So when you're casting, it's really, really important to not just pick from the stereotypical Florida, Miami types, the New Yorks, the LA. It's like get those Midwest, get the Southern folks that are also watching this show. And when you're talking to them, you know if they are actually in it to do it and not just doing it to be a content creator. It's so easy to spot it. It's the way they talk. It's the specific sound bites that they're giving you. And they're saying, I just want to be the villain. I want to be this. You know that they're just trying to be on TV to get 100,000 followers. You could spot it, and every single casting director can spot it. From now, especially now, it's even worse. Like, people are like, I want to make sure that you hear what's coming from my mouth and know that I want to be on TV. And people have watched videos on it. They have watched, you know, interviews like myself that are doing it. Oh, they really want to see this type of person. I'm going to be that person.
Yeah.
No, we can see right through it. We know who you are instantly.
Do you have, like, I always thought the power dynamic of both casting directors and producers is so interesting. I don't think that I would have it in me to know that somebody is a little piece of shit and be like, I'm going to put you on TV and make you famous. But like, that is a big part of what you do. You have to recognize this person sucks. They are the worst. They're so annoying. They rub me the wrong way. I'm going to platform them, put them on a show, and they're going to be a great villain, or they're going to be iconic TV. But like, to me, I'm like, I would not have it in me to be like, oh yeah, like this person drives me nuts. Let's put him on a show. Do you ever feel like dissonance with that for yourself, where you're like, this sucks, I got to put this girl on, but she is damn good?
I mean, there's a balance there. I wouldn't say like I look at someone, I'm like, I can't stand them, they can't be on TV. I look at it as like a big puzzle. I am like, okay, based on this person's personality, I think this person would be good, or this person would rub them the wrong way. And if I don't frame it that way, absolutely, I would go crazy.
Yeah.
Interesting.
When you're kind of doing that puzzle, are you looking for someone like a villain archetype? Like, are you casting for a villain necessarily?
I never cast for a villain.
No.
They always just come.
Are you seeing that in the interview then?
I see it the way, but it's not like to the point where it's like, I'm going to be the villain. It's just the way they respond to their answers.
Villains don't know their villains.
Villains don't know their... Crystal, I did not know she was going to be a villain on The Bachelor at all for Ari's season. A lot of people, when she came into her interview, she told me this very, very upsetting story about her family and, you know, who she wants to be and why love is so important to her. And it was so sweet. But I knew immediately that she was a character because the way she came into the interview.
But wouldn't you, I mean, you would acknowledge that when it comes to especially like The Bachelor or Love Island, like the definition of a villain is not like you can make a villain out of essentially anyone, and all you have to do is have a little bit of sarcastic humor.
I guess,
and a big mouth.
Big mouth. Rub people the wrong
and
way.
a willingness to react honestly.
Yeah.
And not necessarily conform to the vibe of the house or the group. And that's really all it.
That's true.
Yeah, it's the outsider.
The outsider, yeah.
I mean, because usually, like,
a confident outsider.
Yeah,
I mean, because I would think, because like most times, especially in Bachelor, those are your villains, right? They're actually some of my favorite people are the villains, because outside of the show, they're the same person.
Yeah,
you're like, oh, you know, they're not the person who's like constantly, even the genuine ones they're all safe. It's like they're safe.
Yeah.
They're like all the things with what the producers thought I was going to be when they didn't want to cast me, which is like risk adverse and just like, you know what, I'll just keep that to myself. Very rarely do you get someone like, I'm curious, do you remember when you guys casted Luke Parker for Hannah Brown season?
Oh my God, no. I don't think I was in the office that day.
Okay. Because that man, he's one of
So
the,
maybe it's a good
Would you
thing.
have cast Luke Parker?
because he was truly an exceptional villain
Yeah.
because
Yeah, he
there was
was.
an element of like,
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
He doesn't know he's the villain.
He doesn't know.
but
Yeah.
he was like kind of,
He was too
But
short
yet-
to realize that he was a villain.
but his
Aw.
villain,
I'm sorry.
yeah, why do you got to pick on the short
I
kids?
know.
Okay,
Leave
I'm
the
sorry.
short kings
His
out of
problem was
this.
not his height. I think
He
it
was
was,
just so like he was close.
Some of the greatest men are short.
That's
okay?
true.
True.
Just because also like some of the most evil men are tall.
That's
Yeah.
true. That's true.
We don't know.
We don't know.
This is true.
Height
do
has
you
nothing to do
have?
with it.
Was there anyone on Bachelor or Love Island that you were wrong about, where you were like maybe not super, you weren't necessarily in their corner, and they ended up popping?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, I'm pretty good about figuring it out. But you know what? Actually, one person I didn't know would make it so far was Eric Bigger on
Okay.
Rachel's season. I really liked him. He felt very different. He had that Baltimore accent. He was one of those types that walked through the door. His suit was too big. Like he just kind of like
yeah.
uncomfortable, didn't really know.
He's
like,
very earnest.
yeah,
Okay.
very earnest. And I was like, I don't know. But something about him I like.
Mhm.
But I did not think he would make it all the way basically to the end.
Wow.
Hmm.
I thought he would probably get eliminated maybe like second rose ceremony.
I have a question. What kind of questions do you ask them in the interviews?
Ooh,
Like
that's a good question.
specifically.
For Bachelor or just Love Island, just in general?
Maybe just, yeah,
Just-
is there a difference between the,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
two?
I think all of the questions for Bachelor skew a little bit more like marriage. Like, are you
Mhm.
actually open, excited to possibly find the love of your life and put a ring on it at the end of the whole situation? But yeah, I would say for like Love Island, we're asking like previous relationships. What was that like for you? What's a red flag? What's a green flag for you? What's something that you're excited about? What's your type? I always ask that question. Some people are like, when they're bad at answering the question, they're like, I'm kind of open to anything. I'm like,
That's not
no,
true.
that's not true. What do you gravitate towards is then I follow up with of like, what type of men do you usually gravitate? What type of women do you gravitate towards? What's something that is a big pet peeve of yours? And all of this information I end up, kind of putting in my back pocket of like, okay, so I know this person really dislikes people that pick their nails. And then I'm talking to someone else and they're like, oh man, I have such a nervous tick. I like bite my nails all the time. And those are the things that you're like, okay, that might rub that person the wrong way, which could possibly cause conflict in the future. But also, they might not be a match. So it's always great. But a lot of the times people will say one thing of like, I'm really into tall, dark, and handsome. And then they find the complete opposite on the show and they don't actually date that type.
When you're casting for the Bachelor or the Bachelorette, how important is it that you guys are like, okay, we actually see compatibility with how, like, what is the number of contestants where you like, we really see like 5 or 6 people that could actually work with this person? Because I'm sure outside of that, there's people where you're like, they're definitely not going to work, but she's a great personality or whatever the vibe is. Like, how many people are your core people where you're like, we got to have at least this many people
I'm
for it
curious
to
what
kind
you're
of
gonna
work?
say, 'cause
Yeah,
I was
because
told that-
you
I'm
probably
aware
know
of
the
a
answer
number.
to this. Because when I was on it, I didn't know who the Bachelor or the Bachelorette was
Oh.
when you start casting that show.
Interesting.
So we were
Okay.
just casting a
People,
wide net
yeah.
of people, and then like the last 3 weeks of casting, they were like, okay, so the Bachelor is going to be this, or the Bachelorette's going to be this. I think the one time where we had a bigger heads up, it was Rachel's season, and that
Okay.
was it. That was the only time where we were
And
like,
that was specific and deliberate.
And
they
it-
literally
you
spoiled
needed to.
the season
Yeah.
to make sure.
Oh, really?
yeah, they spoiled. Sorry.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
To
I
make sure that
was
they
like-
had good casting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, with the first Black
It's the
Bachelorette,
first-
they
yeah,
wanted to
exactly.
make sure that they were.
Yeah.
You're
You know.
casting like
you're
safe people for her to
casting
be around.
people
Yeah.
because unfortunately in America we have pretty racist people, so like we got to make sure that people are comfortable being on camera with the first Black lead for a show that's predominantly white.
Wow.
And
That's wild. It's
yeah.
giving me chills.
I was
Mhm.
told that number is 4.
4.
Yeah, that
4
they
real
hope-
contenders.
I was told from a very high up person that because I think it's very typical that when they're casting for the show, they don't know
We don't know.
who their lead is. They might have a couple ideas. They might, like it really depends on the season. I think, like for example, like you kind of knew Ben Higgins was going to be the Bachelor. It wasn't a guarantee.
Ari's was a surprise.
Mine was definitely a surprise at the time when it happened. They thought it was going to be a different person, and they made a change last minute. But I was told that if they can get the lead to really be into 4, they're thrilled.
Okay.
It's wild. I didn't have that conversation. We just did our best.
Wow. I guess that might move into
I'm
more.
just doing
I'm
my
just
job.
gonna do
And
my
I honestly
best.
think it's usually not more than 2.
I feel like
And I honestly
Beg to differ
wish
from my
what?
season. Beg to differ. Clayton liked us all.
that was more of a
He
Clayton
loved
thing.
us all.
Yeah, that was
Oh my
more of a
gosh.
Clayton
We all
thing.
loved him.
when working on Colton's season was very interesting. I forgot I worked on his season. I think I blacked that out.
What
a
was
little bit.
interesting about it?
Just I think after the aftermath with the women having conversations with me, they were like, I don't think he was ever into us. And I was like,
Yeah. Okay.
well, I'm actually curious from your perspective. When you went on the show, did you know immediately who you were into?
Yeah.
Like
Night one.
Night one?
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like every person that is on that show says the same thing.
I think night one
late in the
most
list.
leads narrow it down
He didn't
to
know.
3.
Mm-hmm.
So
then you're just holding on to people.
I was actually thinking about this over the weekend, and as crazy as it sounds, but like I knew who I was going to pick. Her first one-on-one was week 3, so that's like a weekend.
Yeah.
And I was just basically at that point, just like, I was nervous after night 1. I was like, again, it's like, and I'm sure most people are, because there's one thing. It's like, imagine on a Friday night going to a bar, and then a group of people are saying, well, in 8 weeks, you're expected to propose to one of these people.
It's crazy.
Good
Like-
Lord.
I know.
It's like, oh, they all seem nice and lovely, but so as a lead, you go in hoping that after the limo, what comes out are just a bunch of people. You're like, oh my, and like that's the premise of the show. But the reality is like, oh, there's like a bunch of lovely, nice people that I don't know, like marriage.
Yeah.
It's a pressure cooker.
But so like I made my decision based off the fact that I was like, there was a physical attraction, and then I was like, she spoke 2 languages, and like that's pretty cool, and she had she seemed like classy, I don't know, and I was like, yeah, I think that's it.
I'll do this. Yeah. That's
So funny. Your season was like the first season I ever watched, because before The Bachelor, I never watched that show before I worked there. And so I was like, oh, I wonder
What an
how this
intro.
yeah, it was yours.
Yeah, but it is crazy how that works. But yeah, because they know that the environment is so intense, and you're just going to develop feelings for the who's around, So it's
If you don't have a phone, you don't have access to the outside world, and you only have these people around, of course you're going to develop some sort of attraction or relationship.
I always thought it was a miss by The Bachelor to not involve the lead in casting in a way.
I agree with you.
And for the very reason why, if the goal was 4, which seems like a crazy low number,
Very low.
knowing that in reality they typically didn't get more than 2, and usually it was only 1. I think most cases the lead is like, honestly, just like there's one person where they're like, I think there's a thing here, and then it just grows, and then the whole season is them trying to explore that. But what happens, like from the psychology standpoint, is the lead has so much pressure on knowing that this, like they kind of have to get engaged, because like the one person who didn't was crucified by America.
So sad.
So you're just like, no one's actually pressuring you. No one's telling you have to do it, but you just feel the pressure.
Yeah.
So you feel that pressure. You have one, like there's one maybe kind of spark there, and then you're like, yeah, sure, I guess this is it, and you kind of convince yourself that there's these feelings, and then you spend the rest of the season trying to survive that relationship while also getting to know these other people. And then making sure that they're also having a good time and trying to, and it's a nightmare.
Yeah.
But the reason why I think it was a mistake is because the seasons that like Ben Higgins, for example, what do we remember most about that season? Clayton, You know, he was in love with 2 women. He was genuinely torn towards the end, and those make for the really good finales.
Yeah.
And if you just allowed the lead to be a little bit more involved, where you were actually being more actually deliberate and intentional about casting the people that they were, because if you had a lead be torn between 3, imagine the drama.
Right? Oh, it's so true. I'm actually surprised. I mean, I haven't worked on the show in so long, so who knows? But I'm actually surprised that they haven't. Like at this point, you have a general idea of who's going to be the lead prior to, because now they're not really using the formula anymore of like someone that was on a previous season is going to be the next Bachelor or Bachelorette, but we also want to wait for the ratings to come out and then see whether or not we actually want to move forward with them. Then we have to ask them and then see if they say yes or no, right? So if they're casting outside, and let's say Taylor, Frankie, Paul, right? You should involve Taylor and say, hey, Taylor, what do you like? What are you into? What haven't you had a chance to date? Because maybe in Utah, you don't get that type of person that you would love to. And having those conversations can help the casting team really narrow down to find those types, but then also sprinkle in some folks that like maybe you didn't think of.
Yeah. I think that should go as far as letting him almost see them and actually.
Oh, no.
Oh,
You don't think so?
No, you shouldn't be able to see them.
I do.
What about like a casting, like a pre
Whatever it takes to make sure
curated-
that lead is like seriously.
You want them to be surprised when they get out of the limo, because if they already know what these people look like, you're not gonna get that genuine reaction.
Maybe not all of them, but I think. I think if you're weighing the surprise of the lead, I don't think that is as important as the lead being sincerely confused and torn, because so often, especially on The Bachelor, by the time you get to like hometowns, you're just trying to survive.
Yeah.
You're checked out, and it's just a survival game, and you're not actually torn, and all the
And it becomes acting.
it becomes acting, and all the like I went into last night still not knowing who I was gonna. It's just like okay, but when in the seasons where you actually that it does happen, those are always
Good stuff.
incredibly compelling.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about background checks.
Yes. Okay.
That is obviously something that
a lot of people love to talk about
Plot
this.
twist, yeah.
I have taken the position of I guess empathy towards your position, because I don't think people, my take is I just think people don't realize how hard it is to catch these things. I mean, it's one thing to do a background check. It's another thing to have access to every phone in the world and know like what showed up, like what photographs are being buried in people's phones. And as we've kind of are seeing now with Love Island, Love Island being a relatively younger cast, people who are like, in some cases, 3 or 4 years removed from high school. And then they get casted and announced on the biggest reality TV show in the world.
Yep.
And then everyone who went to high school with these people are like, holy shit, did you hear like like so-and-so got casted? And they're like, oh, I used to be friends with that person.
Yeah.
And then they go through their old phone and they're like, oh shit, and then it gets released. I mean, I assume that's the big challenge of casting people is to like, there's only so much you can background check.
There's only so much. And I think a lot of people don't realize how much we do. We have outside vendors. It's not the casting team that's doing it. It's vendors that we then hire through, obviously approval of the production company and the network. And we're doing a social media background check where we're going through every single thing. We are doing a background check where we're actually looking at DUIs and all of that stuff, the criminal. And then, we're doing psych exams as well to make sure that they can actually be on a show and be okay. The social media aspect of it, especially now with the younger generation, it's going to be impossible to get everything because you have Snapchats that disappear. We don't have, if someone screenshots that, we don't have access to that. There's no way, right? Text messages, private text messages. We can't go through someone's phone and actually ask them, hey, who have you ever texted? Have you sent anything that was lewd? We can ask, but we can't actually ever get that, right? So anything that we have access to is already on social media. If there's something that is released after the fact that you sent your best friend 15 years ago, there's no way I'm going to have access to that. So it's impossible to find everything. So, we do our best. Is the best way we can do,
Does it ever get discouraging, as a casting person, like almost every season now? And then like
hurts.
the common response is as if you guys aren't doing your job.
It hurts every time. And I'm like, we are doing our job so well. There's so many eyes on everything that we do. And so when someone's like, oh, they didn't pass back, or oh, why this person on this show, and saying all these negative things, we're like, these teams are combing through. Before I even reach out to people, I comb through their social media to see if there's anything before I even reach out now.
Interesting.
Because it's just like, I don't want to get all the way down the line. We spend money on these background checks, and if it doesn't pass,
right,
goes out the door.
I think nowadays with reality TV, there's like mixed opinions even in casting in terms of is there a benefit to casting someone with an actual following versus like an undiscovered person? Do you have a personal opinion on that?
It doesn't, to me, I don't really care anymore. I think at this point, everyone almost has like at least a couple thousand followers. It's very rare to find someone that has like 200. But I'm saying like in terms of like big social followings, sometimes it's great. Sometimes it brings in a new audience that we wouldn't have access to. But sometimes they are just so trained for camera and it comes off inauthentic.
Yeah.
So, but that during the audition process, because you're going to interview them and talk to them, and then they feel like, oh, like they're doing a YouTube video that's probably not going to work for this show.
The people that you've interviewed that do have big platforms and that I'm guessing have come across as authentic, because you probably wouldn't have casted them or whatever. Like when you're interviewing them, what's the difference between somebody like that versus somebody who either wants a big following or has a big following? And like, how do you spot the difference between those two people?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of it is like just how they answer questions. Is like, I want to be on this show because I'm excited to possibly have a journey and meet someone new, but also possibly have a career after it.
So people will say it.
That's people will
I was gonna
say
say
Is that bad at this point?
I mean, I understand why it's a great career option afterwards.
Well, I guess
but
the reason I'm curious why you think it's bad, because especially nowadays, right? Like in 2014, when I got casted, the opportunity wasn't as obvious. Right. Certainly your friends and family would all be like, oh my God, you're going to go to Hollywood. And you're just like, I don't think
that sounds very American Idol.
I don't think that's
going to Hollywood.
I don't think that's what's happening. But
also, I don't know what you want me to do.
Right? You know, but like quickly after with social media and influencing, and we've talked about that at great length on this show, that I can't, how do you fault someone at this stage of the game? Because like the reality is just like what people ask me, like, why'd you go on? I went on because I was hoping for a free trip to Europe.
I like that.
I mean, like, and then I've just thought it would be like a really like unique life experience. Right.
That's a great answer.
And that was ultimately my reason.
Cast.
But,
Cast.
You're in. You want to be the lead?
And then like once I got on the show, I remember being like, well, I'm here, so I guess I'm going to just participate in this thing I signed up for. And I think that's honestly the best you can do, because I also think it would be literally crazy for someone to earnestly be like, I'm here to find love. And this is like why.
Really? You don't think people want to find love on TV?
I think if you're open to the idea that you can go on the show and you might meet someone, great. If you sincerely are like, the apps haven't worked for me.
No, I'm kind of with you on this.
I can't find love. And I need this to find. I think that's crazy.
I think
that's.
But
I mean,
don't you almost? But as a casting director, would you hear that and be like?
I mean, they might make a great.
I think that's
absolutely, you're on the
interesting.
show.
I think there's plenty of people. There's hundreds of thousands of people that actually have that story, including my sister. She's been on the app. She's dated around, and she can't find anyone. And she was like, maybe I need to go on Love is Blind.
I've considered.
I would say Love is Blind is one of the few where I actually think like, okay,
that is
that one.
That seems like the real one.
Correct.
So I kind of get that, but I'm kind of with you where like when I went on, my friends were huge fans of the show and they were like, you should do this. It's sick. You're going to get to travel. It's going to be fun. And I was like, I'm not one to turn down an adventure. And I was at a point where I was like, and I do want love, but I was like, if I just make it halfway, I'll be stoked. Like I just honestly had that mentality where I was like, he's not going to pick me. Like I'm down to try. Like I'm down to go have a fun time. But it was so far-fetched that it would work out, even on from that perspective of like the person picking me. And then it's like, hopefully I like them, but like most people are picky for good reason. So it's like, I was like, I'm not going to like stay if I don't like
that's why
him.
I think casting for you guys, it seems so hard now, because I guess that's my point. It's just like, how do you, I think 10 years ago, it was just more like, oh yeah, this is a cool experience. And like, yeah, I mean, I haven't found love yet. So like, maybe, sure, if that happens, great. But how do you fault the person who signs up for Love Island and have them not hope that like
they have a career afterwards?
They have a career.
Yeah.
That they become I mean, how do you fault that person? And like to be able to be that person and give an answer.
Yeah.
So that someone in casting like yourself, it reads as like, okay, you know, like not like, I just want to be your villain or someone who's just here to perform, right? Because I think that's because like you've been like, there are times on the, whether it was Bachelor Paradise, Bachelorette, or The Bachelor, where no one ever says action in reality TV. You know, it is reality TV. But I have been on these shows and it felt like someone heard the word action in their head, and I was like,
they turn it on,
and you're like, whoa, like it just immediately I've experienced that many times, and that I think is a common occurrence, and I feel like it's from a casting standpoint, you're trying to avoid that.
Yeah, we're trying to people that like they actually feel authentic when they turn the cameras on and turn the cameras off. That's what we're really trying to. And I know it's going to be impossible now, especially Love Island. These people are going into maybe they have like 1,000 followers on their Instagram, and then they're leaving with millions.
Crazy.
So they know going into it that they are going to probably have some sort of social media career after this. And I think that's fine. I think that's okay. And that's going to be expected, especially now of this generation, because it's an actual career. But, you know, obviously I started casting, you know, almost 15 years ago. It's like, we weren't looking for that. That wasn't a job. That wasn't something. And I try to keep that on the back of my mind of like, who are these people that, you know, are actually in here to be genuine and try something new, have this adventure, and then also be authentic about it. And you can read people so quickly of just how they react and how they move and talk to you. It's second nature for us that we like know that they're just doing this to do this and not actually trying to actually be a part of what they like to call an experiment. Because at the end of the day, all these reality shows are experiments. We are putting people in a fishbowl and people are watching the aquarium go by and see whether or not that they would be a good fit for this show. And then eventually these goldfish jump out and then they have to do something about it.
Yeah, I agree.
Traders, another show that you worked on. How is, I mean, obviously Traders is very different format than the love competition shows we've been discussing, but from a casting standpoint, what is the secret sauce for casting for Traders?
Oh man, you need people that are manipulative, but also you need people that are gullible. So having that fun balance of it all, and game players, like people that are just in it and like will do anything to win money. Whether it's, you know, knocking someone down or just lying to their face. Like you need to find that interesting balance. But I love the gullible types. Those are my favorite to find.
Did you cast the season that Gabby Wendy was on?
No, I only did season one.
Well,
Yeah.
I think she's one of the most brilliant castings for Traders.
I 100% agree.
I think she's truly one of the most intelligent women I've ever met in my life. She's so smart, so strategic, like really just like brilliant, but she is so comfortable with people thinking whatever they want about her, where she's like, I know who I am. I know what's working in here, but you guys can totally think I'm a dumb girl. Yeah. And I'm going to let you.
That's
and then I'm going to pull one
powerful.
over on you. Like she is so brilliant, but I was curious if you saw that when casting. But
yeah, no, I didn't work on her
whoever.
season, but fantastic addition to that cast. So good. And like, that's why we like Parvati, right? Like, I think a lot of people, not anymore, but they used to underestimate her because of just the way she looked and how she carried herself. But that woman can play a game.
I love that.
I love it. And same with
woman.
Sari. Sari, you look at her and she's like kind of your auntie. You just want to hang out with her. You like trust her. She feels very calm. But man, she's a game player.
Yeah.
What's the difference, I guess? So the season of Traders you worked on, that was still when it was like normie.
Yeah,
normal
so it
people
was
mixed
half
with-
civilians and half celebrities. Yeah.
I guess, is there, what was it like trying to cast for that? because you're also having these like civilians going up against
Yeah.
these names. So what was that kind of?
Yes. So it's very interesting because we didn't know we were going to have celebrities when we were casting. We were casting a full season of just only civilians, and that was it. And then it was like a couple weeks until we were about to wrap, and they were like, hey, actually, we're going to have celebrities in this season. And I was like, some of these people are just not going to measure up to a lot of these game players. I was a huge Big Brother fan, and I watched Rachel Riley's season, and I was like, who's going to be able to compete with like someone like Rachel Riley and like Suri? And like, how is that even fair?
Yeah.
So it was a really interesting, we didn't really get to navigate it because it was just kind of like forced upon us. And we were like, all right, well, we'll just do it.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
Is casting pre-established figures? What's the difference kind of in that versus casting civilians?
Yes. Okay. So it's very different because, a lot of them don't have to do audition process. Some do, depending on the show. Like Got to Get Out for Hulu, we worked on. And that had like Demi, who was
I watched that season. Yeah.
So she did an interview. She went through the whole casting process, but there's some that are just like it's an offer only situation where it's like I reach out to your reps and say, hey, do you want to do this show? And
Traders
they say,
is pretty offer early at this point.
yeah, it's like
really?
yeah, and it's like, do you want to do the show? And they say yes or no, and then you move on. But you also still have to do the puzzle pieces of whether or not they're actually going to fit with the cast. But civilians, because you don't know these people, you don't no idea how they're going to play the game. They have to go through the full casting process, like every single reality star before. Yeah, they hop on a phone call.
Do they do tests for like gameplay?
Yeah. So during our casting finals, we will actually give them like scenarios and like how would you react in this situation? What would you do?
That'd be
how
so
would you
fun.
play
I
this
wish I
game?
could watch even casting that. Would be so fun to watch.
So much fun. And even like the circle and that stuff too. We were like actually giving them like the game to play because how else are you going to find out how these people play besides just talking to them?
Wow, fascinating stuff. Before we let you go, I would be remiss if I didn't ask you about your opinion about Nicolandria as someone who's in casting. A topic that there is no unpassionate people about this topic.
How can you not? How can you not be unpassionate about it?
Well, like I think most we were talking Tuesday's episode where like I think a lot of at this point the average fan is even upset because reality TV and love competition show exists for no other reason than for fans to question the authenticity of these relationships that are formed in these hyper manipulated and controlled environments. And there have been great love stories that come out of it. And that's why we follow and support them. And then you had this relationship that literally started clearly based off of like people encouraging them to explore this connection that other people saw in them. And then when people wanted to question it, they were character assassinated by this fan base that just was so passionate about these two. And then for the most part, the relationship seemed like, I don't know, who knows? Like, maybe they're together, maybe they're not. But as I said, they didn't stick the landing like at all, and any good performance, it comes down to, sticking the landing. And I'm curious as someone who is an expert in reading people's authenticity and also understands the pressure these people are all under. I mean, it is all relationships with reality TV. It is a gauntlet to make it work, even if you truly have some deep love and chemistry and compatibility. And even then, the odds are stacked against you. I am curious from someone in the seat that you're sitting,
I have
where do you
such a
land?
hot take on all of this from the beginning of Nick and Olandria. I thought that the producers saw how well received both of them were. Because remember, they were basically getting eliminated and then they were brought back.
Kind of unprecedented.
I immediately was like, something's up here. And I thought from the beginning that it was a pretty manufactured relationship because both sides, everyone loved both of them. Then they got together and everyone saw that. And I think a lot of people, especially in this environment of where we are in the political sphere, of like, we just want to see Black women win, especially darker skinned Black women win. And also seeing a relationship with a white man, they're also like, oh, wow, like anything can happen on reality TV. We're seeing something new. And I thought that was a beautiful love story. I have nothing against that. But once I saw that after they left the island and every single one of them were just like posting there were so many campaigns, I was like, unless they're actually in like a real relationship, there is no way that this is going to last, because I saw how Olandria was already moving in the space. She was trying to make a name for herself as an individual. She was not doing a Nick and Olandria. She was doing an Olandria. And then Nick was very much like, I am attached to Olandria. And any sort of interview that you did, what was he always talking about? Her. And she was talking, it was mainly about herself. And then every once in a while mention Nick. So I saw those pretty instantly and I said, I don't know how real this relationship is.
Wow.
And I think they're going to get their coin. They're going to do what they need to do. And I said this actually to my sister last year in December. I said, they're going to go through the holidays. They have to get the holiday coin. And then after that, I bet you maybe around like next season of Love Island, things are going to fizzle out.
When people they get their new couples to love.
Like Mary's theory.
I know.
Similar to
I think they actually do truly like have love for each other and care for each other.
I think so
I am
too,
not negating that at all.
They're literally, when they broke up, they're like, nothing's changed.
Nothing's changed. Yeah, exactly. Because they were never,
Yeah.
you know, I think they loved each other, but were in love with each other.
Yeah.
And listen, good for them. Who
Yes.
cares?
Get your back.
Whatever.
It's also young
get your
love.
bag.
No
Yeah.
harm, no
Fine with
foul.
it.
But
Yeah.
like,
Please.
that being said, as someone in casting, what you care about is authenticity.
Yes.
You want to believe in that there are real couples that come from it, and real couples are constantly criticized and questioned.
Right.
So, is there an element of like, at the end of the day, whatever, who cares? But like, does it hurt the kind of ecosystem?
I don't think so.
No? Okay.
No, I don't think it's going to ever hurt the ecosystem, because I think people are always going to be tuned in and they're going to want, everyone's going to root for love no matter what. And that's the beauty of every dating show. We want these people to win, and people will tune in because of it. Whether or not it's a manufactured, dating experience and these people actually aren't real couples. At the end of the day, it's just like watching characters like play out on screen.
Yeah.
And we'll always have people like Nick and Olandria, or we'll have,
All right. Well, Jazzy Collins, thanks for coming by.
Thanks
so
for
much
having
fun.
me.
Fun conversation.
Yes.
Where can people find you and all that fun stuff?
They can find me on Instagram at Jazzy Casting.
All right.
Nice and simple.
All right. Fun stuff. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was so fun.
Yes.
That will do it for today's episode. Sadly, we have not yet had time to really get into Real Housewives of OC, but it's a slow
up.
It's a slow start. It's like they're more like setting the stage. There's not really anything to.
I think it's
really
warming
break
up.
down. It's fun. It's light.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable.
We're 3 episodes and not a lot happened. So
Yeah. I mean, listen, it takes time for water to boil, but once it gets there,
We also wanted to eventually talk about the toxic love story on Netflix. Maybe we'll get into that. That was
twist and turns, my dude.
I was sad.
I gotta watch it.
I was
I'll
like,
watch it
oh,
tonight.
not
Yeah.
another
the
one.
biggest
of
thing is
these.
just like when you date, and like it's just like it's a scary world out there.
Yeah.
You never feel like you're gonna meet a monster, and yet there's people who truly meet. Like,
I think.
can you imagine meeting someone who fakes cancer?
Well,
That's my ex did that, you guys.
yeah.
It's crazy. Yeah.
Is he in jail?
No.
Bro.
How did you find out?
He confessed, but I was like trying to break up with him, and he was like, he had been lying about things, and I kept catching him in lies, and he finally was like, the reason why I've been lying is because I have cancer and I've been getting treatment, and I didn't want you to worry about me. And so I went home for this. I was in college. I went home for the summer, like told my family. He came to visit. So then my parents asked him about it. He lied to my parents. Like and my mom was like,
What type of?
he said he had melanoma. And my mom was like, I knew that he was lying, and I was like, Mom, I felt the same, but how do you call somebody out for lying about cancer?
How did your mom know?
She was like, I could just tell. Like they would ask him questions, and he would get nervous about the topic of it. And
That's crazy.
he was like, don't tell my mom, because our moms were Facebook friends, and he was like, I don't want her to worry about me. And my mom was like, why would you not tell your mom that you have
That's like something you do in the
serious
first grade. It
cancer.
reminded me in the first grade. I have this vivid memory of me and Shane Peterson. deciding
Shane.
Where are you today, Shane?
I don't know, deciding to tell our first grade teacher that we were long lost brothers and we were from New Mexico.
That's a fun one. Though.
That's fun. That's fine.
I still do that. I
And we were
still
like,
do that with my
no,
girlfriends.
we're brothers.
Not quite
But
the same.
it's like it,
I know what you mean, though. Yeah,
but it's
Yeah.
like so based off of nothing.
Yeah.
And just pure delusion. But like I remember in the first grade being like, what am I doing?
Living a lie.
And,
Six-year-old Nick
as
is like,
and as a first grader, I had
ethics.
the emotional kind of maturity to be like, this is wrong.
This is wrong.
And that's what I was going to say. I think
That's
it's
so funny.
What was so crazy about that documentary was just the idea that people could so subtly lie about something so big and keep it going.
Yeah.
You know
and
what
just,
I mean?
while destroying lives.
100%. And like having no guilt factor, no need to like back down until put into a corner. And it's just kind of like, it is terrifying because you know what I mean? Like most of the time when people are lying to you, you just kind of feel like you can just sense it or you're just like, that didn't add up or that didn't feel right. But I couldn't imagine lying about serious things over a longevity of a relationship. But no, that documentary was insane. So I would love to talk about it.
Pick your friends carefully, people. Well, that will do it for today's episode. Be sure to check out our Going Deeper with Haley and Ashley from Ultimatum. An important conversation that I think everyone should listen to. A little disturbing to see some of the discourse and that people are so quick to discredit these people's stories. But nevertheless, I think it's an important episode, and I hope you all get a chance to listen to it. And thank you to all our guests, Jazzy Collins, Stephani Sosa, and Kayda, also a.k.a. Mikey. We appreciate them all, and we appreciate you listening. We'll see you back on Monday. Bye-bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.